What's going on, everybody? We're back. It's hard to believe we're back. It's been 3 weeks. The date today is Monday, September the 13th, 2021, 6:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5:15 p.m. Central Time. I don't usually say that, but there's a reason for it, of course. My name's Dave McRae, coming to you live from the VoiceMann Studios in Toronto, Canada. He's Tony Michael in Atlanta, Georgia. And this is Patrick Anderson in Houston, Texas. We're watching Big Trouble in Little China. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live! Oh, we're live, we're back, and this is Indiegogo perk fulfillment number 3. Patrick Anderson, one of our great associate producers on It's Me, Billy, and Patrick, of course. Amazing to have you here all the way from Houston, Texas. Again, we were talking a bit before we went live here, but I just want to say that your contribution to the show, to the show, yeah, well, to the show too, but to the movie and to the campaign does not go unappreciated. I mean, you were one of the people. I mean, everybody, no matter how big or small, the donation helped. And, I've always told people it doesn't matter if it's, $5 or $500, it all went to the film. But you were one of the ones that stepped up in a very, very big way. And, Bruce and I and the cast and the crew, and we can't thank you enough, without your contribution to the project, to the film, it couldn't have been made. So really appreciate it. And it's great to have you here.
Yes, no, thank you very much. I love it. I just loved It's Me, Billy. I thought it was done just perfect. And I would love to see part 2. So yeah, if you want to get it going again, man, we'll all contribute. So yes, just let us know.
You're not the only one. There's it's for sure. I mean, we have our ear to the ground, and we're watching, and these next few months will be very interesting for the film, because obviously we're moving into Halloween, and then we're moving into Christmas, and we want to see if some views kind of go towards it, and see if there's a taste. And but we're happy with the results so far. I mean, we're knocking on 30,000 views, which is pretty darn good for a fan film that nobody asked for, and a Black Christmas fan film. Yes. It's not usually, nobody really cares about Black Christmas. So all things considered, I mean, it's not Friday, it's not Jason or Elm Street or Michael Myers, where you can get 500,000 views in your sleep. To not go for the low hanging fruit, and to go a little more unorthodox, and to be knocking on 30,000 views is great. And we hope it continues to rise. And if it does, then, I don't want to say too much. There's a lot of things that we're working on, but hopefully we'll have some interesting, fun news soon. So yeah, really appreciate it, man. This is a lot of fun. Tony, how are you doing?
I'm good. So Patrick, tell everybody where you're from and what do you do?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh man. So let's see, Houston, Texas. I've lived here for about, 10 years I've lived here.
I just thought of Yosemite Sam.
Oh yeah.
Damn rabbit.
No, I lived here for about 10 years. Before I lived in Annapolis, Maryland. I actually was a Navy brat, so moved all the time. But yeah, I've been here for 10 years, and I actually met my wife, who actually was the one who said, "Oh, they're actually doing a 2 dudes perk. Okay, let's put money towards that." So actually, I got to mention her, because she was also too a big part of this.
Amazing. Is your wife watching right now?
Yeah, I believe she's in the.
Probably not. No. I'm just. Honey, I'm on. Why aren't you watching? No, okay. Well, shout out to the wife. What's your wife's name?
Amanda.
Amanda. Shout out to Amanda. Amanda.
Tell her I like her song by Boston. It's a good song.
That's it.
Good tune. I'm sure she's heard that before at some point in her life.
Yes, it's like anybody named Mandy, right? I mean, it's,
the Manilow song.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking
So
about.
what do you do, Patrick?
Oh man, I wish I could say it was really exciting. It's not.
I thought you were gonna say, I wish I could tell you. I'm like, damn, it's like some covered up shit.
Oh man,
he's an FBI agent.
FBI agent. Better watch what I say.
Yeah.
Good thing I didn't wear the shirt that I was gonna wear tonight.
Yeah,
it's very plain. Yeah. No, just a nice, boring desk job.
Hey. There's nothing wrong with that,
I've done
man.
those before. You know, we've all been there at some point. You know?
Yeah. And actually, I'm just very lucky. I'm just very fortunate to obviously still be employed. I know this is all crazy times that we have, and just have that luxury just still to work from home and do this. So, but yeah, so no, just take care of some vendors like, I don't know, Ford, Nissan, Chevy, just fun-filled stuff for a franchise company I work for. So yeah.
That's amazing. You know what? And I mean, look, at the end of the day, the most important thing is you're able to provide for yourself, your family, you know, and you're healthy, and that's it. I mean, at the end of the day, right? And that's the most important thing. So, you know, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So
that's great.
Shit.
Now, tell us, Patrick, why Big Trouble in Little China?
Man, this is actually has been a favorite of mine. I want to say, I think it was 9 or 10 when I was younger. It just used to be on HBO all the time.
Right.
So, and actually, I didn't know it was a John Carpenter film until my high school years. So it was kind of a nice little treat. But yeah, just it was a family favorite, and I still probably watch it, if not every year, every other year, because it's just a classic. And Kurt Russell is just amazing.
Oh, he's
just such an awesome actor. Yeah. So
yeah. He's awesome. Yeah. Well, it was great. I mean, when we asked you for some ideas and you said that, what I said, you know, I told Tony and he was like, "Oh yeah, let's do that one." Cause it's, you know,
well, I
it's
haven't
different.
watched it in so long. I'm telling you, I haven't seen this movie in like 25 years. So I was like, yeah, man, absolutely. Sign me up for it.
This is going to be great. I haven't watched it.
But you know, I have those types of movies too, Patrick, where you just, there's certain movies you just kind of go back to beyond just the Halloween stuff and the horror stuff, but just general movies, you know, like Interstellar. I'll watch that at least once a year or even twice a year sometimes. So I get it. You know, when you have just a certain movie that you gravitate to, it's got your hooks on you because you enjoy watching it. So I feel you on that.
Yeah, it should be fun. And of course, anybody, for everybody in the chat, you know, if you have questions for us, feel free to ask throughout the show today as well. And we'll see, we'll see how the show goes. This is going to be fun. Big Trouble in Little China, not Big China, Little China. Not in China, but in little. Anyway, that's a bad joke. Okay, here we go. We're gonna watch this. Where is it? I have it around here somewhere. Hang on a second. I gotta get my. Okay, there we go. All right, here we go. So we are paused for those of you that are going to be watching along with us. We are paused 3 seconds in. All three of us have the 20th Century Fox, the old school 20th Century Fox logo on the screen. 3 seconds in. So if you want to set up your DVD, Blu-ray, VHS, digital, wood burning, you know, however you are watching the movie, if you want to set it up there, that's where we are. Or if you need a timestamp in a little bit, we'll give you the timestamp. All right, you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Yes. Now, this was John Carpenter's, I believe, his last sort of kind of studio film, if I'm not mistaken. He got pissed off when it didn't do very well.
Well, didn't he do Vampires in the 90s?
He did, but was that independent or was that studio? I can't remember.
Like I don't know.
No.
You did say studio. That's right. I don't know what Vampires was.
Yeah, this.
I think it was like an indie, and then it's like I think it's at Largo. I think Largo is what picked up Vampires. Right. Yeah, for a master's.
For those of you that may not again to give sort of a Cliff Notes version. The difference between an independent film and a studio film, by and large, is that a studio film is usually
is going to fuck it up, and an independent film is going to make it right.
A studio film is distributed by the studios.
In short,
the money often comes from there through distribution, marketing, all that kind of stuff. An independent film is created from independent production companies, essentially. Now, that doesn't mean that there cannot be an independent film that is created independently and then a studio picks it up for distribution. That sometimes does happen. Actually, that happens a lot in the case of many independent films. But yeah, I believe this was Carpenter's last sort of studio film through and through, and he went back to independent filmmaking after this. So Prince of Darkness, They Live, In the Mouth of Madness, Village of the Damned, Vampire. I believe they were all independent films, I think.
The less red tape, the better, man. That's what I say.
Yeah, it can be tough. It can be really, really tough.
Well, I mean, shit, look at what happened to the fucking Friday the 13th franchise and the producers and everybody who gets involved with their bright ideas.
It's great.
I mean,
and if I'm not mistaken, this was originally, I believe the original idea for this was to make it like a Western in the 1800s, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Didn't Carpenter say he always wanted to do a Western? Like he was a fan of Western films? Or was that Wes Craven? One of those two said
no,
it.
Carpenter said it.
Was it Carpenter? Okay. Yeah, he was really into Westerns and like the old Westerns that he grew up watching. But
then they modernized it instead.
He could have done something like, and even today he could still do it if he wanted to. I could see him doing something like a Django Unchained type style of a Western. Maybe not so,
thank you, Darren.
maybe not so on the stylized of Tarantino's, but something along those lines I could totally see him doing.
Darren Sand says Invisible Man was a studio film. All right.
That's right.
Yeah, Chevy Chase. Yeah. I forgot about that one. Well, then he must have been disgruntled after Big Trouble in Little China, and then he did a couple independent films, and then he felt like, all right, I'll do it again. And I can tell you right now, Invisible Man must not have helped the cause, because he hated Chevy Chase, and that movie didn't do very well, and geez.
Yeah, it's just tough because it's like you have Carpenter and then you've got Chevy Chase, who's more of a comedian actor. So I kind of felt like they just didn't know what to make out of it. Like, is this supposed to be, an actual serious film or a comedy?
It's true. And you know what? It doesn't surprise me that Carpenter, again, I don't know the guy personally, obviously. But I mean,
don't lie. You guys are BFFs.
Well, we were in the hot tub earlier. We were in Frank's hot tub earlier. Is where we were
with all the Halloween Kills spoilers.
Yes, yeah, oh yeah, he was
all over.
Oh, he was sitting there in his trunks and his.
Dave's already seen the movie, folks.
Yeah. He's sitting there in his.
He's seen it 6 times.
Yeah. He stepped out of the hot tub, and I kind of saw his ball sack a little bit as he stepped out, and I was like, oh my God, what's going on? The water got very cold after that. I don't know what happened. No, but it doesn't, because of John Carpenter's personality, and he's somebody that started with independent films, right? And his personality, it strikes me as the kind of person, and there's a lot of them, that would be very, he doesn't want to deal with the bureaucratic studio meddling that often happens when you're making a studio film. I could see him going, for fuck's sake, fuckity fuck. And he just doesn't want to deal with it, right? So, and you can, like, look, one of the things that a lot of, again, I mean, an independent film doesn't mean an amateur film. It just means it's outside of the studio system. There are professionally made.
Halloween was an independent film.
Insidious was an independent film, for God's sakes. I mean, it doesn't, independent films don't mean amateur films. So they're just usually outside of the studio system. That's right. Dean Cundy did this. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Independent production company did the music as well, too.
Really?
John's go-to guy. Well, him and they both did. It said music by John Carpenter. I think accompanied by Alan Howarth.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's Carpenter's bromance with music. They do almost everything together.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I can understand that.
Most people don't realize, but keyword there. He engineered the original Halloween soundtrack with Carpenter.
Right. Yes, he did. Yeah. That is true. And you know what? I mean,
kind of a glorified producer, basically. Sound engineer. Giving how the final soundtrack, that final polish that Carpenter put together is basically what it is.
I can understand why. And again, it's not like I've made a lot of movies in my life, but having just made one at the level that we did, I can on a very sort of small scale in comparison to, for example, the movie that we're watching here, or, most major feature films. But the principle is the same. I can understand why a lot of directors or producers like working with the same DP or the same actors. I can tell you right now that Bruce and I are eagerly excited to work with many of the people that we just worked with on It's Me, Billy again, whether it's Me, Billy 2 or something else. You know what I mean? It's, you develop a relationship and a really good working relationship and trust, and you have a great time. And I can absolutely see why you know, there are certain go-tos for people. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Tarantino's known for doing that. You know, he likes to cast a lot of the same. I mean, my God, what's his name? He always curses in Samuel Jackson.
Oh, right, right.
Like almost all his movies. You know what I mean?
Scorsese, DiCaprio.
Yeah, Scorsese's DiCaprio. You know, and even Brad Pitt's been showing up in a lot of Tarantino films. You know, I think I think with Tarantino, like you said, a lot of directors, once you build that relationship, and even when I was doing the photos towards the last year of it, I pretty much worked with the same girls because I could rely on them, and we had a comfort level, and we knew each other, and I knew how to get the reaction out of them that I was looking for in the photo. So
of course.
So when you do It's Me, Billy again, I won't be shocked if it's your same DP, and you know,
I can tell you right now,
and everyone behind the scene doing the same shit.
Like it's whatever we do next. I can tell you that we're because again, I mean, It's Me, Billy 2. I don't want to say too much. I mean, obviously, it's no secret we would love to finish it. Whether that becomes our very next project or not, I don't know. So too early to tell yet. You know, there might be something in between, which is often the case as well. But certainly I am eagerly excited to work with as much of that crew and cast as possible again. This almost looks like Short Round in a quasi Indiana Jones hat, kind of grown up a little bit. You know what I mean? He's got like this little Dr. Jones hat going on.
He would have had to have grown serious. This came out when, in 87?
86.
86. And when did that one? When did
Temple of Doom? 84.
Ooh. So yeah, that would have been some serious growing.
Yeah. Kurt Russell.
And you know who I always confused that kid? I always confused that kid on Indiana Jones, or maybe it is the same person as Data from Goonies.
It is the same guy.
Okay, so it is the same. So I haven't seen the Indiana Jones movies yet. So that's
no, it is. Kurt Russell is a sexy beast in this movie, isn't he?
Just look at that freaking mullet, man.
His wife is definitely one sexy beast, especially at this point in the 80s. Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn. Well, this was before. I think this was before they were even together. 86.
Yeah, you're right. When they hook up, Overboat or right around Overboat.
I think it's around. Yeah,
Overboard.
Yeah.
Overboard. I mean, Overboat.
Yes.
Well, she went over the boat.
Yeah. It's the same thing. Same thing. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Goldie Hawn, man, in the 80s.
Oh, she was stunning.
And let me tell you, she's definitely punching out some great offsprings there. Kate Hudson.
Kate Hudson's very pretty.
God.
Yep. Yeah. I don't think Kate Hudson is I don't think her and Kurt Russell have kids.
Her dad is what's her dad's name?
Oh
shit. I'm drawing a
I know who you're talking about though.
I can't think of his fucking
I
name
love
now.
Overboard though. One of my favorite
Overboard's a great
comedies
movie.
of all time. Totally dating us all here now.
No, they actually re-released that, I think, on Blu-ray. I forgot which company did, but I actually was like, man, I got to buy a copy of that because
it's great.
That's pretty awesome.
I hate to say this because I'm probably going to get a lot of backlash. But about a year or so ago, I watched. I don't know why I did. Maybe I was bored. I watched the remake of Overboard, and where it was
they remade that movie.
They did with a role reversal, right? They did it with.
I didn't even know this existed.
Is it Anna Faris? I think is her name. Played the part of Kurt Russell, and then she has to rescue, a guy, right?
The guy.
And so it's a role reversal. I watch it, and I'm like, this is gonna be crap. And at the end of the movie, I was like, it's not good, but it was kind of charming. Like I hate to say it, but I was like, I don't know. It was kind of like okay. Which is awful because I'm like, I wanted to hate it, but it was kind of charming in a way, in a way. And, but no, nothing beats the original. I mean, geez, it's amazing.
I always forget she's in this movie.
Kim Cattrall.
She's
Canadian.
Mannequin.
Yeah, she's Canadian from Police
Mannequin
Academy
is
too.
Definitely one of my guilty pleasure movies. I don't give a fuck. I love that movie. I watched it I watched it on VHS like a month or maybe 2 months ago. That's a guilty pleasure movie of mine.
What were you going to say there, Patrick?
Oh, I was going to say, no, I support you there, Tony. It's all right. It's all right. There's always a little place for Mannequin. It's okay.
There is,
Everyone
man.
needs
It's just
to have
a
place for
classic.
Mannequin.
Andrew McCarthy, Kim, is it Cattrall, right? That's how
Kim Cattrall, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a great movie. Great soundtrack. Starship. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Whenever I think of Kim Cattrall, I think of Police Academy, though. She was in the first Police Academy
that's right.
movie.
She's in the first Police Academy.
Right.
She's what's his name's love interest, right?
Steve Guttenberg.
Steve Guttenberg, yeah.
Yeah, she's a Canadian. She's
I always
born
call
here.
him Guten, like Guten.
Guten.
Gutenberg. Guten. I throw a little southern drawl into his name.
See, I could be in this movie because this character wears a hat.
Now,
I could be this character.
This dude with the sunglasses doing the nunchucks, he looks like Michael J. with the sunglasses on and the hairstyle.
Yeah.
He looks like Michael J. Fox's best friend in Teen Wolf.
Yeah,
with the sunglasses on.
I see what you're saying.
In that wavy hairstyle.
A little bit.
It's not him. But it just looks like him. What's that dude's name?
He
was in a lot of 80s.
Styles.
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 Dude, we got to do a Teen Wolf night at some point.
Yeah. Teen Wolf is great. Teen Wolf 2 with Jason Bateman.
Poor Jason Bateman. He's definitely come a long way. He's good. He's good.
Oh, yeah. Darren Sand says Porky's as well. There's a Canadian film right there, too.
Yeah.
Directed by Bob Clark.
Bob Clark. Yeah.
That's right. Who did Black Christmas and Christmas Story. Look at that car. This is so great. This is so great. What I love about Big Trouble in Little China is there's a little bit of ham and cheese. You know what I mean? And it's on purpose.
And like corny
obviously.
One-liners, you know what I mean? Like Russell throws out, which are great. They're great.
Oh,
That's
great.
what makes the movie.
I'm not surprised actually because the movie bombed. I think it only made about $11 million at the box office. But had this been gigantically successful, you totally could have seen them doing a sequel to this. 100%. Like this character goes on like another adventure. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Michael Douglas in Romancing the Stone and then Jewel of the Nile.
Right. Yes. I love those two movies.
Yeah.
Him and it's not Catherine Bates, is it?
No, it's Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner.
Thank you.
Yeah, Kathy Bates and Michael Douglas. Can you imagine that?
What the fuck I was thinking there, man.
Can you imagine?
Because I'm also thinking of the poster of him holding her.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just saying. Like, I mean, Michael Douglas was cut back in the day, but I don't know if that vine would have held.
I'm your number one fan.
You know why I said that? Actually, if you haven't seen this, it's a really fucking good movie. I was only disappointed in the fact that there wasn't much Bonnie and Clyde, but I watched this movie called The Highwaymen with Kevin Costner and Woody Harrelson, and she's in there, and it's based on the two guys who hunted down Bonnie and Clyde and ultimately killed them. The only thing is I wish they would just given us a little bit more Bonnie and Clyde, and it's a Netflix movie. Like Netflix all of a sudden is like popping out some shit. Like there was that movie, which I just watched, and Leo is doing a Netflix movie. I was like, Leonardo DiCaprio's doing a fucking Netflix movie? Jesus Christ. Like they're bringing in some A-list actors here.
Get him on the payroll.
Darren in the chat just said romancing 20 stone. Now I just had to do the conversion. 20 stone to pounds is 20 stone is 280 pounds. And I just romancing 20. Darren, you're bad. You're awful. I love it. It's great.
I will say though, Kathleen Turner, right?
Yes, that's right.
Man, the 80s, forget about it. That was one beautiful woman.
She was good. Yeah, she looks a little rough now, but she certainly was very, very pretty back in the day. And well, I mean, listen, we're all heading
time.
there.
That's one thing we all can't defeat.
No,
that's right.
This and there's a lot of I don't know if they're actually Chinese, but there's a few Asian characters in this movie that you see sort of a lot playing, like back in the day, back in the 80s and the 90s, you would see them a lot in like those kinds of roles, like what's his face, this guy here, I think.
Oh, this guy,
guy, he was in Die Hard.
He plays like the same type of guy too in all these types of movies, like that a caricature type actor, you know.
This is Short Round. This is Kurt Russell's Short Round right here.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I just thought of that. This is Kurt Russell's Short Round. You should call him Shorty. I think it'd be great.
Oh man.
Yeah, you sometimes forget this is a Carpenter movie.
What the hell?
I love
That
this guy
over
with the
dramatic
guns.
gunfire.
It's great. It's so campy. It's great.
Yeah.
It may not have done well, but it's definitely got a cult following.
Oh, huge.
Immense. Yeah, it's huge. And I think the soundtrack actually is probably this is probably one of John Carpenter's best soundtrack. If you really just listen to the soundtrack in its entirety, I mean, besides the last song is very comical because he sings on that one, but everything else, just the background music itself is just, I listen to it sometimes.
John Carpenter sings on it, or?
Yeah, he sings the last track. The Big Trouble in Little China song during the credits.
Yeah,
I didn't know
that's
that.
Carpenter. Yeah, that's Carpenter.
I didn't know that. Well, I know he was part of the Coupe de Villes, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he's got a little bit of, Southern.
It's funny that you say that because Halloween 3 is probably my favorite Carpenter score from a synth. Like, because he gets really, like, I love synthesizers and the synth sound.
Well, that's Alan Howarth, I think, did 3.
It's both of him. It's both of them. You know, they work together on Halloween, the soundtrack for Halloween 3, and just the sounds that they were creating with the Roland, the Roland June, I think it's the Juno 6 is what they were using. One of the synths that they were using. Like, anytime I throw that on, I get so like the whole world just shuts out because I'm just listening to like the music I love the original score to Halloween, but it's very generic. It's I mean, like you can teach a 5-year-old how to play that on the piano. You could see his evolution as a creator when you get to Halloween 3 and just trying different things out. And I really like that score. And it doesn't get talked about. The soundtrack to Halloween 3 doesn't get talked about that much. Because I get it, because when you throw on the Halloween soundtrack, you want to hear that iconic, 5/4 time.
This is great, great fight in here. This is awesome. Love this. Yeah, this they rushed Big Trouble in Little China into production too because of The Golden Child with Eddie Murphy, and they had similar sort of,
God, that's another movie I haven't seen in a minute.
I love that. That's one of my favorite Eddie Murphy movies. Darren, what's that? What's the on that magazine? The Golden Child behind Eddie Murphy is like big asses or something or whatever it is. He walks past a newsstand and there's like a porno magazine, whatever, and I forget what it. Darren will remember because.
Wow, Chester Franklin saying Tommy. I didn't know Tommy Lee Wallace and Nick Castle also sang on that song in the end. I knew Carpenter did.
Yeah,
but I had no clue that it was the trio.
So essentially, it was the Coupe de Villes.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
That's it. Chunky asses. Thank you, Darren.
Yeah, Lee, I agree. Christine's soundtrack is also another good one that Carpenter did.
You know what's actually pretty good too is his first film, Assault on Precinct 13. I mean, his first like independent film. I know he did Dark Star, but
yeah. I don't have that one. I have most of his soundtracks, but that's one I don't have.
Yeah, it's a good one. He fucking kills a kid in that movie.
That looks like Raiden.
Yeah, like a Disney kid.
Like a
10-year-old. Yeah, it was actually.
Geez, I wonder if that's where Mortal Kombat got the idea for Raiden. Because it really does look like Raiden.
They actually did. That's
just
like
a bad version of Raiden.
Oh, really?
Is that serious? I was just kidding.
Yeah, I forget. I think it's I forget the guy who actually created Mortal Kombat, but his last name was with B. But there was an interview actually that he said that he actually created the Raiden character based on lightning. Like that's where he got the inspiration. So yeah, you're right.
No shit.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. Yeah.
Well, because the hat, right? And then the lightning, I'm like, it's fucking Raiden.
Yeah. Bullets just don't do it.
This is totally a this got to be like a back lot. I don't think this is a real street. Just looking, you could totally shoot this on a back lot somewhere.
God, this is so over the top.
It's great.
I love the little spin.
I know. It's got like little fucking. It's got. God, they look like barbecue tools. Like he's gonna start barbecuing chicken or something. I love how he's just, he's just a truck driver. He's just a truck driver. Wrong place, wrong time. I'm just a blue-collared man with a naked lady on my grill. Yeah. So silly. It's great. This guy, you see. Just completely smashes him. I love it. But you see him a lot in films. Wasn't he the guy in the Seinfeld episode, the Chinese restaurant?
The restaurant guy. Yeah. Is it James Hong? I think that's his name.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you are correct. Shorty. See, this is Shorty and Indy right here.
Dude,
favorite. Well, I know what Patrick's going to say, probably. What favorite Russell Carpenter combination film?
Well, it's really obvious. It's The Thing. I'm sorry.
I wasn't expecting. I was expecting this.
McRae.
Yeah, no. McRae. Sorry. Yeah, like I love this, but The Thing just. Kurt
you could have suggested that. I would have totally watched that too.
Yeah.
We haven't watched that yet. Yeah, that's my favorite too. Is The Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say.
Did he? Yeah, he did Escape though too.
He did Escape. Elvis.
I gotta go with The Thing.
The TV movie Elvis.
Well, he did Elvis. Yeah. He did Elvis shortly after Halloween.
It was his next project, I believe.
I think that was the first time they linked up, right?
Because he did two. He did Halloween, but he did I think he did Elvis, and then he did The Fog before he went back to Halloween 2.
Right.
Or he wasn't directing Halloween 2, but I mean before he,
wrote it and wrote it with a 6-pack and cigarettes and
That's
pizza.
it. That's it.
That's what he says, right?
Oh yeah.
No shame. That's what he says. No shame.
Yeah, this is in my mind, this is Shorty, who's grown up a little bit, who's now getting himself in a different adventure with a different guy. Look at that tank top.
I don't know. I'm just thinking
sexy,
though,
like he's going on to the beach
Kurt's
in
got
Florida.
The jeans with the boots tucked in, like with the jeans tucked into the boots. I'm thinking I might bring that fashion back.
I think you should.
This winter.
I think you should.
When it gets cold out again, I'm gonna tuck my jeans into my boots.
Assless chaps.
with my blue and yellow silky robe.
Yes, totally. Yeah. You start posting photos of you like that. It's like what's going on?
With the phone
now?
in my hand. Recreating Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes.
Scenes.
Yeah.
Get the wavy hair.
That's it.
I gotta wait for that.
It's like what's going on?
He can totally sport the mullet, though. Yeah, he can. He's the only one I know that can still sport that. I don't know what it is.
He looks great.
He still rocks the mullet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell for me is one of those guys that I believe he is the person
that he's
playing in every movie he's in.
Yes.
And another actor who I feel this way. He's a little strange and he's kind of out there, but I'm just talking about. I have to admit it. Another guy, I believe he is that guy in every movie he's playing is Tom Cruise. You can say what you want about him or whatever, but for me, I'm like, I guess he never phones it in. We can talk about his personal life.
Well, when you're hanging off of a fucking
stuff.
airplane, no, I would say you definitely don't phone it in.
That's what I'm saying. He never phones it in. He's believable. I believe but it doesn't matter if it's the guy in Mission Impossible or if it's, some other sort of kind of not smaller role, but less, action-y role, whatever. He's just one of those kind of relatable characters.
I can just imagine the production meeting when they were going into that MI film and they bring up the idea and the CGI people were like, great, so where are we going to do the green screen? Next day that person shows up and they're fired.
That's it.
Tom Cruise like, fuck, I ain't doing CGI shit. I'm riding that bitch.
Yeah, he's going to die.
And he did it fucking 9 times, I heard, or something like that. Like something crazy. It wasn't just like one take. They did it like a couple of times.
Yeah. But he's a tool at the end of the day.
Well, yeah, the whole
I can
like
separate art from
Tom Cruise in real life is fucking.
Yeah. Oh, he's
One Flew Over His Cuckoo Nest. But
absolutely.
As an actor, no, I love the Mission films, especially like the last three. I thought the last three were really great.
My sister Jill, my older sister Jill, had a big crush on Kurt Russell. Yeah, huge. Actually,
Colin, it's funny you say that because that would be if The Thing is my favorite Carpenter Russell film, but my favorite Kurt Russell film in general is Tombstone. Fucking love that movie.
That's a good one. That's actually my favorite Val Kilmer movie.
Probably. Yeah. Val was robbed of the Academy of that one.
Yes.
Although I think, if I'm not mistaken, I have to double check this, or someone can fact check me on this. I think Val lost also to Tommy Lee Jones's character from
The Fugitive.
I think Val was nominated. Tommy Lee Jones, Leonardo DiCaprio was nominated for the Arnie character in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. I'm just saying, if you're gonna pick one of the three, first Leo probably should have gotten it, but second to that would have probably been Val Kilmer's portrayal of Doc Holliday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying Tommy Lee Jones is a bad actor, but come on, man.
My favorite Kurt Russell movie. He didn't do anything like that was like great. My favorite Kurt Russell movie is Captain Ron. No, that's a terrible movie. It's so bad. Is Martin Short in that? Is he the
Captain Ron? Yeah, he's in there.
He's the dad of the family.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, that's a terrible movie. No, I think my favorite Kurt Russell movie. Well, I mean, this is great. The Thing is great, obviously, but I gotta say, I love Breakdown. From 97.
I keep seeing that
so good.
Popping up on Hulu. That was one of the ones that I didn't get the chance. Is it good?
Oh, it's great. It's a great thriller.
Okay.
Yep. You'd like it. Look at him here.
Was that right around the time when he did Executive Decision, which
Executive Decision's really good too. Yeah, it was a couple years prior. I think Executive Decision was 96, I think. And Breakdown was 98, I think, or 97. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Executive Decision is good. Yeah, that's a good movie. I remember seeing that in the theater.
This is actually the set, if I remember correctly. If you guys saw Pee-wee's Big Adventure, with when he gets his hands read, I think this is actually the same lot because where it has the tarot reading like palm neon light, that's actually the same there. So when I used to watch this, I'm like,
so are we saying there's a little connected universe there between Big Trouble and Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
I think so.
Maybe. So
we like to connect movies that don't belong together.
Yeah. So this just proves my point that it's likely a backlot because it looks like a backlot. A lot of the sets there, which is fine. Nothing wrong with it. Just sometimes you can kind of tell.
I love this look.
I know. I think he should just have that look. Yeah, Kurt Russell's great. Loaded with charisma. Just fun.
Oh, just not this way exactly, but this type of personality, I feel like are the people I work with.
Right.
Sorry. I'm not going to share this video.
No.
So
yes! There it is, folks. There it is. You heard it here. It's all right. What are we? We're 40 minutes into the stream. They'd have to. They're not going to watch for that long.
Yeah.
They're not watch for that long.
Tango and Cash is good. Warren Armour. That's a great Russell Stallone.
Yeah,
that was a fun
Tango
movie.
And Cash, that was fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if Stallone tries to get Russell to do one more of those since he's been reviving all his old movies.
I'm surprised he hasn't got Kurt Russell to be in any of the Expendable films.
Yeah.
You're
like
right.
A logical choice.
That would have been a logical choice to do.
Yeah. Unless Kurt was like, fuck no. I'm not doing that shit. No, I don't know. I actually like the the third one was, but I actually liked the first two. Were pretty good. Were fun.
Yeah, I never saw them.
No, they're fun. They're fun. And like if you don't take them too seriously, it's fun to see all these aging action stars, trying to avoid busting a hip as they run. It's great. just like, you just watch it for the nostalgia. You know what I mean? Like, really, that's the only, you know, it's just that's it. Just, you know, it's fun. There's the Mortal Kombat guy, right? Am I right? Or no, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And I know it's not actually him, but somebody's like, it's not actually him, Dave. I know. I know.
Dave, you're wrong.
But Dave. I think I got that around here. Here we go.
But Dave.
So irritating. It's cool because okay, I'm not big into martial art films. When I say that, that doesn't mean I don't like martial art films. But outside of, like, say, Mortal Kombat, the martial art films that I've seen are sort of very grounded, like Bloodsport.
Hey, the Karate Kid?
That's what I mean.
It's technically a martial art film.
No, it is. But that's my point. Like Bloodsport, the Karate Kid, the Quest.
You like Dragon? Enter the Dragon?
Enter the Dragon. Yeah, like there's a lot of, this is a like it's got a supernatural element to it, right? Yeah. And so it's kind of funky. Like it's this grounded, well, it's not really grounded. It's kind of hammy. But like I like the fact that there's this supernatural, you know, backdrop to the story that they're telling. You know, I think it's fun.
Will we call The Crow a martial arts film? I'm not asking that because Brandon Lee's in it. I'm just saying because there is a lot of martial arts fighting in The Crow. But I don't know if I would, because it's based off of a comic book too. I don't know if I would. Would you call it a martial arts film?
I don't think I would. I'm kind of with you. Like, it's more like based on the comics. I guess maybe that's how I see it more. Yeah.
Or Rapid Fire that Brandon Lee did. I would consider that a martial arts film.
Right.
If you haven't seen that, it's a good Brandon Lee movie. It was like one of his first, like, he was building that momentum of making a name for himself, and then obviously The Crow was going to catapult him into a 90s actor, and then we got robbed of that.
I was just about to ask, was this the last movie Carpenter and Russell did together? It wasn't, though. Escape from LA was 10 years later. And that was,
Escape from New York.
No, and I think that was sort of the end of the films that they did. Probably. They should do one more. They should do just like a ear. But see, I don't think the problem would be Kurt Russell. The problem is John Carpenter. And when I say problem, I mean, look, the guy's 70. So is Kurt Russell. I think he's like 70. You know, they don't have to do anything. They've been there, done that, earned it, you know, whatever. But between the two of them, because Kurt Russell's still active and still quite active, you know, I would say that Carpenter probably just doesn't give a shit. He's just probably like, oh, I don't want to fucking get out and stop playing Xbox. You know, he just doesn't want to do that.
Well, if Carpenter were to direct any scenes in Halloween Ends, maybe he can bring Kurt back for a kill scene. We're gonna kill Kurt Russell. Michael Myers is gonna kill Kurt Russell.
No, I would like to see just a.
I'm telling you, I'm bringing it back. Boots tucked into the fucking jeans. I'm seeing him rocking them here in these scenes.
You should. I think it would be cool. A small film.
Yeah, I'm just loving it. I'm looking like
it's great.
What are they thinking?
It looks like he's going into his bathroom to clean up like a flood full of shit or something. Like he's got.
Yes. I'm totally bringing it back. Fuck it.
You should. I would like to see. I think give Carpenter $5 million. I mean, like a budget. Give it $5 million. Make a small scale like murder mystery where Kurt Russell's your detective. I think that'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, like a horror thriller. You know what I mean? Make it small, you know? Yeah, like $5 million, you know, small budget, 10 million tops. You're not going to need 10 million for something like that, though. I mean, maybe. But like somewhere in there, right? Like small, you know, murder detective kind of movie where he's got to hunt down, like, you know, I mean, it's formulaic in the sense of like, it's not a story we haven't seen, but you know, it's all in how you tell the story. Right. And like maybe Kurt Russell's a detective and, you know, he's older now. So he's an older detective, seasoned. Maybe he's retired, and maybe you got somebody else there who brings him out of retirement because, you know, somebody's kid's gone missing. I mean, it's pretty pedestrian, but really kind of make something different with it, you know, and it small, something that doesn't overwhelm Carpenter and he can go home at night and still play his Xbox basketball. You know what I mean? Like just something where something.
Yeah, that's right. I forget he's really into gaming.
He is.
Like and big time, like hardcore.
But I think if you say, hey, John, you know, we're going to do this. It's just like a murder horror detective. Maybe there's a supernatural element to it, you know, and Kurt's going to be the, you know, he might be like, okay. Kind of sound like Harrison Ford.
Well, that was kind of the thing. I don't want The Ward to be John Carpenter's last film.
Right.
Like, it was Ghost of Mars. And I'm like, no, man, you can't stop at Ghost of Mars. And then you get The Ward. And it's like,
right.
No, you're not doing it right, man. So I love your idea. I think that's great. Just something like that.
I think it's great. Now, I have to admit, I've only seen bits and pieces of The Ward, but I heard it's not.
I have never even seen it.
Yeah.
It's 2010 was his last feature film that he did.
Yeah.
But I think that would be good. Like you keep it small so it's low risk. It's low risk for a studio. So if they try to theatrically release it and it doesn't make that much, well, it didn't cost that much. And
or you could even go smaller if possible and do something like on the scale of like the original Halloween, small production, you know, everybody kind of pitching in and just, you know, doing it for the love of filmmaking.
Yeah, you could, although a movie like that would still like a movie like Halloween today, even the original would probably still cost like, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get inflation, you
yeah.
know, but I'm just saying, but taking the same principles where you don't have a big crew, small crew.
No, that's what I mean.
You know?
Yep. Just do something small so it's low risk to the studio. It's low risk to anybody who's going to distribute it. You know what I mean? For all intents and purposes.
Get the whole gang back. Well, with the exception of Deborah Hill, you know, get Tommy Lee Wallace, get Dean Cundy, get the whole gang back together for one last hurrah.
Yeah.
What's Dean up to these days besides making hits?
He's still doing some stuff.
Yeah. I mean, Jack and
really,
Jill
when you
was
look
pretty
when you
awesome.
look at his
That's right. That's right. I forgot he was the DP on that.
He was a DP on that.
See, this is not like Indiana Jones and Short Round right here. I mean, come on. This is like the Temple of Doom right here.
Totally.
It's okay, Shorty. Shorty! Where's your Willie Scott? Kim Cattrall's the Willie Scott.
This is the part
That's
I used to
cool.
have to hold my breath. Like, this is what we used to do
That's
as kids.
cool.
It's like, oh man, you're underwater. You got to hold your breath. Come
Yep.
on, man. Just a little bit longer.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Dumb
That's
kid
right.
stuff. Yeah, he had to do that.
That's cool though. Like those bodies, that was good.
I have a friend of mine, and I can relate to this because there's certain movies that I have this reaction to who has a fear of water, like drowning, and there's like scenes where she can't watch, like because it will freak her out. And I have the same like when people are, for example, we were watching because I mean obviously you know the 20th anniversary of 9/11 just passed, so everything on over the last like few days has been the 20th anniversary stuff. The Nick Cage movie was on, and that's an all right movie.
World Trade Center.
World Trade Center when they're trapped. I can't watch them being trapped. I get like claustrophobic. Like like I want the stuff off of them. Like if that were me in that situation, I would have died. I would have. I'm like, no, I'm done. I can't deal with this. I can't deal with being in close spaces.
So have you seen The Descent then?
No, that's the James Franco movie.
No. The Descent is it's where the women go cave diving. And
I'm thinking of a different cave diving movie with Franco where he had to cut his arm off.
Oh no, that's
the actor.
Yeah, that's
72
hours or 172 hours, whatever that's called.
That's the movie I was thinking of.
No,
because they're both like cave diving movies, right?
Well, one's I don't think it was cave diving. He was maybe he was. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think the guy in real life, I think wasn't he cave diving and he got trapped or some shit?
He got trapped, but The Descent is a very claustrophobic movie.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Torture right there.
No.
That's it. We're doing it.
No,
We're watching it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it.
You want to see Tony uncomfortable? Put World Trade Center on, and you'll see me here starting to
Double
freak out.
feature World Trade Center, The Descent. World Trade Center, The Descent, The Sweat.
No, I can't do it. But do you guys have any situation where like there's scenes in movies that you're just, it makes you uncomfortable for whatever reason?
I really can't. I mean, I know when I was a kid, anything with like needles. So like Halloween 2, for instance, like when Jamie Lee Curtis is constantly getting, shots or anything. But like now, honestly, I think it's just because, we're all getting older. I think it's just getting older, and that sucks. So I don't have any one particular thing.
Gotcha. I don't either. I will say though, I literally feel my knees get weak and my stomach like fall out beneath me watching those YouTube videos of those, what's it called? Parkour or whatever. Those people that are up on like 90-story.
See, I love those guys. I think what those guys do is fucking balls to the walls crazy, and I love it.
Yes, that's amazing what they're able to do. I personally think it's really stupid because one slip and you're gone.
You're done.
What they're doing
there's no comeback.
yeah, exactly. There's no safety net. But what makes, and I'm not afraid of heights, really. I mean, I've been up the CN Tower here in Toronto and the Empire State Building in New York. And, I'm not particularly afraid of heights. I like that saying that, no, I'm not afraid of heights. I'm afraid of dying. I'm afraid of falling. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid of heights. I'm afraid of, but anyway, so, but when I watch these people in just like their socks, and they're on like I'm thinking socks, like you slip and and they're there and they're leaping around and they're on like some 90s. I'm like, oh my God, I can feel it. I can actually feel it, but that's not a movie. But yeah, that I can feel. Cause I'm like, oh my God, oh my God.
It's crazy. Cause like I can sit there and eat a pizza watching Leatherface saw someone in half with a chainsaw and I won't flinch. Nick Cage with a bunch of rubble that's probably styrofoam rubble on top of him in World Trade Center. I'm like, this is fucking freaking me out. Wow. It's not freaking me out that it's scary. It's just giving me anxiety, like a phobia type feeling that I don't like, because I don't like being in close spaces.
Now this is Lopan, right? Or Lopan?
Yeah, David Lopan. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know.
Right. He, I hope this is not good. Carpenter's starting to look a little bit like him, I think. There's a little like there's a little bit. There's just a little bit like not but I just mean like sometimes when I see John Carpenter, he's got the long hair.
Had a vision of the future, saw what he looked like. He's like, that's the guy. That's what we're gonna do.
John Carpenter would hate me, so he'd be like, fuck off, fuck you. That's what he'd say to me too. He'd have no issue saying that.
God, no. Well, I've said that many times. If I had to choose a director to work under, Wes Craven, any day of the week, twice on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
He would take me under his wing. He would mentor me.
Yeah.
Carpenter would be like, man, go get me some fucking cigarettes.
Yeah.
Back, can I teach me something? No, go get me some fucking coffee. Fuck.
The set design,
bitch boy.
The set design in this movie actually is really good. Great sets, great locations. You really do feel like you are going on an adventure. Do you know what I mean? Like there's many different sets, there's many different sort of scenarios that, these guys get themselves in and they have to get out, and like you feel sort of the sweat and like you feel that exertion and because it's not, it's at a time when it, there was not that CG didn't exist at all, but everything is practical. And, the sets are practical and it just, it's great. Like you really feel like they're on an adventure, and I like that, I like the difference. Like, don't they end up or did I miss it? End up in like a hotel or something soon, or isn't it like a hotel or a brothel? Or did I miss it? No, I missed it.
We've been talking so much. I think we missed it.
We missed the brothel. That was earlier. That's right. That's right.
Well, no, that's when he was wearing the glasses.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. I just couldn't remember what order it was in. But like they go on and, they've already been underwater and seen all these bodies. Then they're in wheelchairs, tied up, going up a ramp. Now they're in this room. Like you really feel that sense of, booby traps, adventures. It's got that Indiana Jones, Romancing the Stone, you know, that 80s kind of Goonies. It's like Goonies, but not kids. You know what I mean? It's, you know, you feel that with this film. And I think that's what makes it appealing to watch as well, because it's from one crazy scenario to the next.
Yeah. It's just too bad they don't make movies like this anymore. And that's not just a saying. That's just, they don't. They really.
It's true.
It's really true. Don't. Although
I get it from a money perspective, movies are business, and I understand, you know, and no money's to be made in these types of films. I get it.
Too bad. I actually quite enjoyed Nicolas Cage's National Treasure films.
Fucking love those movies. Both of them. I thought they were great.
I thought the first one was better than the second one, but I still enjoyed them both. And it's too bad that they never did any more.
Or like a trilogy. You know, I was expecting like a bookend to it. Like I was like, nope.
Yeah, that was sort of after part 2 in, I think that was 2007. That's when Nicolas Cage kind of went off to do all these weird movies. Like he became a Bruce Willis after that. It was so strange. Every time I turn on Netflix, there's some movie I've never heard of starring Nicolas Cage.
You know? He's become the king of Netflix.
Oh, it'd be like, you know, Ghost Man, or, you know, and then you scroll
Joe
along.
Or Job or Joe or something like
Joe
that.
wasn't bad. Joe was directed by David Gordon Green, actually. That wasn't bad, but there's others like you'll see like I don't know if this is a title, but you'll see like Ghost Man, and then you'll keep going, and then you'll see like The Whisper King, and then you'll keep going, and you're like,
they made that fucking disaster. I can't believe that we couldn't get anything better from such a great story of Annapolis. No, Annapolis.
That's just another example. That's what I'm talking about.
You know, and we just this incredible story of survival and what these men did, and everything that's behind the story of them delivering the bomb and whatnot, and then the fact that they were stuck out at sea, and you know,
sorry, dude, I'm like. He's growing. He's growing. He's becoming huge. His pecs are pulsating. Like, I love that. He sits in the chair and he's going, like, you know what I mean? Like, how would you describe this movie? Like, so much happens in it. You'd be like, and then, and somebody would be like, really? So, and then he gets in, and then he goes all the way back to, and this guy's chest pokes out, and then they're on the water. There's like this well and shit, and this well, and he's like trying to get him. You know, like, how do you describe? It's like a Scooby-Doo episode. That's what it is. It's like a Scooby-Doo episode.
It's the studio saying, so John, how much stupid and not stupid nonsense do you want in this film? And John just says, yes.
Right.
All of it.
Exactly.
Like every scene.
Well, this is the same guy who did Buckaroo Banzai. I never saw Buckaroo Banzai or Banzai, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's the same writer. So that's what I kind of, I imagine it's probably the same type of feel, but I never saw it. But yeah, just the way the story is truly amazing. I just love how it goes one place to another. You have thunder, that guy, like you just said, just grows. Okay. Yep. And then you have a guy who shoots lightning, and then you have another guy, Rain, I think is his name, is the other God. I mean, it's just, whoa, I don't know where we're going, but I'm for the ride. That's cool.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, no, it's definitely there is a satirical, you know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge to the audience about this film. I mean, it's just silly fun, but now that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool with his head lighting up like that and shit. That's really cool, man. That looked awesome. I love that.
When I was up at Lake Lanier last weekend, I watched They Lived. Man, talk about a movie being very relevant to today's world.
Oh, like, Carpenter's They Live. Yeah.
Like I was watching it, like, man, this is really relevant to modern times. Like, was this dude prophesizing or what?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all
Rowdy,
out of bubblegum.
I forget. Rowdy was he you know, when he's
was
standing
Canadian
next
too.
Well, when he's standing next to Hulk Hogan and other guys in the WWF at the time, he looks like a runt. But when you put him in a movie like They Lived, dude is huge.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? When he's standing next to normal, he's not, I always forget that he wasn't as little as he's perceived in the WWF, because he's next to guys that are obviously steroid out, like Hogan was back in the 80s. So next to Hogan, he looks little, but in They Lived, he's like, dude is jacked.
Yep. Yeah. And that was prime. I mean, that's like what, 88, 89, something like that. So it's prime, like, you know, they were all on roids too. So it's prime time that he was, you know, Yeah, no, he was from I think
in No Blood. I love this. They're just shooting no blood.
Oh yeah.
No blood.
Yeah, none whatsoever. Like, how does this truck driver get involved in this? You know what I mean? Like how and he's okay to be in it. Exactly. He's like, let's go, come on, let's go.
Like fucking Rambo and shit.
Yeah. His boss is on a CB radio. Where are you? You're supposed to make that delivery. What's his name again? Jack Burton? Man. Jack Burton? Yeah.
Jack Burton.
Come on, John. Give us one more Jack Burton movie.
I just think it's great because he's actually, we're supposed to think of him as like the main character, but he's really the sidekick to, gosh, I can't even think of his name right now. Short Round.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but like he's like supposed to be, he's more or less the comic relief of this whole movie, but you're supposed to think, oh my gosh, he's this great,
it's great
strong hero.
Yeah.
He's a joke. I love it.
Yeah. He is.
Himself.
He does. Yeah. And that's kind of the thing. He's not Indiana Jones at all. He's sort of like, he's a fish out of water. He's out of his element. And because there's a moment towards the end too, isn't it? Where he gets like hit on the head or something, or isn't there something where he gets knocked unconscious or something, or he's trying to be all strong and I forget now. Again, it's been a couple of years since I've seen it, but I thought there was a moment like that. I remember thinking he's just, he's easily dismantled. Like he's not a threat really at all, but then somehow he ends up saving the day, it's great.
Yeah.
Carpenter must have had because it was one of his dreams to make a martial arts film, I think. Like, one of his I think he always wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and a Western.
Mm-hmm.
So really he's down to getting a Western. So maybe he'll do one with Kurt.
Maybe he'll do like an Unforgiven kind of Western, but with Kurt Russell. It's not really the same though, because Clint Eastwood
Unforgiven's such a good movie.
Fantastic movie.
Mm-hmm.
I froze.
Froze? Let me see.
It looks live to me.
No, you're good.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
You're good. Maybe you were just sitting still, so still that people thought you were frozen. This is great. Yeah, it's just it's like a video game. Did they ever make a Big Trouble in Little China video game?
I think on the Commodore 64, like this was years ago.
Right.
I think they actually made one, but I don't think it actually got released. But yeah, I thought they developed one.
Because I could totally see this being a game.
Yeah.
They released a Goonies 2 on Nintendo, and it was garbage. All those movie games were garbage. The Friday the 13th game was garbage too. I don't care who says they like it. Friday the 13th game was
epic.
It was fucking trash.
I never understood it.
I could never get it. Once I got myself...
The Karate Kid game was fucking garbage.
Once I got into a cabin, I could never get myself out of the cabin. The rooms just kept changing. I couldn't figure out how to get out. Such a garbage game. The Elm Street game was pretty cool, actually, for Nintendo.
Yeah, that was all right.
It was all right.
Karate Kid, fucking, you had to hit the AB,
look at him, look at
fucking chop the shit and break shit.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. It. Just the way he like falls into the water. It's like he's a truck driver. What the fuck's this guy doing here? Shooting the water, completely missing too. I love it.
I can't believe they've missed. Yeah,
I know.
But hey, it's cool.
Now Kim Cattrall went on to do Sex and the City too, right? I think that was her. Right?
Didn't she do Designing Women with Delta Burke?
I don't think Kim Cattrall was on Designing Women. No, Designing Women was a good movie.
Never mind. I was thinking of Sex and the City. That was the TV show.
Sex and the City. Yeah. I think she did. Yeah. No. Rowdy. I think. I think it's in that order. Anyway, no, he was born in Canada. He was actually born in Saskatchewan, I believe, which, no offense to any Saskatchewan viewers out there, but it kind of explains the, I don't know how to say this, it kind of explains the rural feel of, he's got that, when you, hear him in interviews and he's kind of got that, I don't know how to, I don't know how to say it without offending anyone. But yeah, it doesn't sound like he's from the big city. Let me just say that. Okay. It's just,
There you go.
Yeah, I'll just say that. But yeah, no, he's, but I mean, he was great. Another wrestler turned actor or just a wrestler who died way before their due date for sure. Yeah. Because I don't even think he was 60. Was he? I think he was in his late 50s or something.
Yeah, no, I don't think.
Yes, Chester. Because I think Alan Howarth did score They Lived, and yes, because that came out before Halloween 4.
Yeah, I think They Live was 87, I think.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think it's 1 year before Halloween 4.
Kurt Russell. Or hey, Google, what year did They Live come out? Could be wrong. Maybe it's 88. No, 88.
Oh.
88.
I guess so. Then if they came out the same year, it's just a matter of when he did the post on it and the music.
Well, Carpenter didn't do the
no,
music
Alan Howarth.
Alan Howarth, yeah. Short Round. See, this is Indiana Jones, Short Round, and Willie Scott right here. That's what this kind of is. Although Kim Cattrall's not as damsel in distress. Nah. Look at this. I love this. He doesn't even know what he's doing. He has no fucking idea.
He's like bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, he's got no idea what he's doing. He's just a truck driver.
This is great because he tries to pull out his knife, but then he ends up throwing the knife, and so he doesn't actually fight. He does all the fighting of all this.
Of course, because he's completely useless. Here it comes. He's pulling out his knife. Here it is. That's right. He tries to. I forgot about that. He tries to pull. He pulls too hard and it goes in the other direction. I love that. That's great. Is there ever a moment in this movie? Because I forget. Is there ever a moment where he's like, "Yeah, I love that. I love that." Comes out. And he's like, and he's ready. They're all gone. That's so good.
Time to
go. Is there ever a moment in this movie? If there isn't, there should have been. Where he's like, "I'm just a truck driver, damn it."
Oh, yeah, there should be.
There should be. I'm a truck
reboot.
Driver. That's right.
They'll do the reboot. They'll put that in.
Get everybody back. Get Kim Cattrall, Kurt Russell. Do a direct sequel. Imagine it ends up being this epic, amazing movie.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the Sex and the City stuff, but I just saw a thing that they're coming back and like a teaser or some shit. That they're
Sex in the City?
Sex in the City. Yeah.
Oh,
she still looks great.
No, but why? Because
they're rebooting everything.
I know, but Sex in the City. Like eventually,
nostalgia reboot.
But when Sex in the City was out, it was like women in like their late 40s, and it's like, yeah, okay, okay. But now, like they're rebooting it. What is it? Like the Golden Girls of Sex in the City? What are we doing here?
Man,
what's happening?
Freaking! I was gonna say Rose, not Rose.
Hey Google,
Blanche.
How old is Kim Cattrall?
Blanche was having some fun there in the 80s. Okay.
Kim Cattrall is 65. Okay.
Well, how old was Rue McClanahan when they did Golden Girls?
That's right. Hey,
well,
Google,
I guess they were supposed to be in their 50s, right?
What year was Rue McClanahan born? 60s.
Yeah, I thought they were supposed to be in their mid 50s when it started, and it ended when they were in their 60s.
Yeah, Rue McClanahan was in her 50s when she did it, but the others were in their 60s. She was actually the youngest. Yeah, but I think they were supposed to be all in their 60s. And Sophia there, Estelle Getty, was
the youngest out of all of them.
I think, or the second youngest. Yeah, she was younger. She was actually playing somebody who was like 20 years older. Look at this creature! Oh my God!
I mean, amazing. If they approach Sex
this is amazing. I forgot about this.
Golden Girls type perspective, that could work.
It could. This is amazing.
There's a great outtake. It's actually on the Blu-ray, but like the actual creature, he keeps on walking to the left.
That looks like the fucking.
And he actually hits his head.
Oh, does he?
Like
Is it like a mistake, you think, or you think it's supposed to? Yeah.
It looks like, and it sounds like that goofball monster in the second Ninja Turtles movie, the wolf-looking thing. Dog or whatever. Do you remember the second Ninja Turtles movie?
Yeah. They wanted to do Bebop and Rocksteady, but they couldn't, and they made some.
I don't know why couldn't they do it? Was it a copyright thing?
Yeah, something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Stupid. Instead, you get that snapping turtle and that wolf-looking dog.
Yeah, it kind of does look like that.
That's what that monster looks like a little bit.
A little bit. You're right. This is. I love that creature.
I never knew that it was a copyright thing. I always wondered why they did that.
Something like that. Don't quote me on it.
It made
but there was
sense to bring
like
Bebop and Rocksteady in, and they give us two characters that none of us ever heard of.
It was that, or it was either that or part logistics as well. Like there was something that they couldn't feasibly do, or I remember I watched something on this not too long ago. Actually, maybe it was the movies that made us. Maybe there's a Ninja Turtle something, or I can't remember. Anyway, there's something. Yeah, there was some reason why they didn't. Shit just got real. Like that was fucking epic. That was an epic scene.
Yeah.
Look at him now. He's like, it's okay. I'm fine. I'm a truck driver.
Sharpening my knife. It's all
right.
good.
Sharpening the knife that he didn't even use.
My hair is perfectly coiffed and raised.
It is. What's he even doing? This is the John Wick of martial arts films. That's what. Although John Wick's kind of a martial arts film in some ways, I guess.
Yeah, it's too bad they didn't have Jackie Chan in this movie. That would have been great.
I think he was still doing Hong Kong films, though. I don't even think he was in Hollywood at this time.
Yeah, I don't think he was here just yet.
This is about 10 years before.
Although, no, because he's in Enter the Dragon, which isn't an American film.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah.
This guy here,
it is Enter the Dragon. It's not. I was thinking Way of the Fist, maybe. No, it's Enter the Dragon. Him and Bruce Lee have a fight scene.
There's an Asian guy here, the older guy. What's he in? Oh,
Victor Wong.
Oh yeah, he's in the guy right there at the front in the beige kind of jacket. He's also in The Golden Child.
Oh.
He's also in The Golden Child.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, they rushed this movie into production so they didn't have to, or they wanted to get it out before The Golden Child because of the similar sort of themes, you know, being that it's flying? Like supernatural with, you know, Asians, I guess. I don't know. Something like that, you know, with the culture and they had similar, like they weren't exactly identical stories, but there were similar themes in them. And yeah, totally wanted to do that. There's a super chat that came in. Thank you very much. The Dark Light sends in $2, says They Live almost competed with H4 at the box office. Yeah, because I think They Live was released in November, right? Or something like that.
I love like that's a knife or whatever through his head.
Yeah.
It's great.
It is great. It's fantastic. Like I said, like the set design in this movie, the costumes, it's actually, how much did this thing cost? Let me just see here.
I think it's like 25 million, I think.
Yeah, you're right. It says,
Which,
19 to
80s,
25 million. Yeah.
That's a lot of money for the 80s.
Yeah, that's a fairly big budget. I wouldn't be surprised if that was one of Carpenter's largest. For sure. Yeah, that's funny. Dean Cundy, Kurt Russell, Dennis Dunn. Maybe that was the Asian.
Oh, Dennis Dunn. Yes.
Dennis Dunn.
Dennis Dunn is he Wang?
I think he is. Dennis Dunn is, as Wang Chi. Mm-hmm. Jack's best friend and restaurant owner, whose fiance is kidnapped by Lopan. Kurt Russell as Jack Burton, a cocky, wisecracking.
Is this just me, or is this place that they're in the Ghostbusters, the interior for the Ghostbusters?
It totally looks like that.
It really does.
Yeah.
It looks like it's the interior of the Ghostbusters headquarters.
Let me see here.
I mean, there's a fire pole, so I wouldn't be fucking shocked.
Yeah, it could be. It could very well be the set.
Interior of the set for the Ghost. It really does look like, if you watch them coming in, the arch behind them looked very, like I was looking at, I was like, man, that looks like the Ghostbusters garage, firehouse garage.
Could very well be. Wouldn't surprise me.
Because I know the exterior shots were shot in New York, but the interiors were all on set, right? They didn't shoot it inside that fire station.
Right. See, now they're underground.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, what is it? It says here, Kurt Russell is Jack Burton, a cocky, wisecracking, all-American truck driver who gets involved in an ancient battle between good and evil when he makes a delivery to Chinatown, San Francisco. I mean, this is so funny. But did he make that delivery? That's the question. I can't remember. Did he make that? That's the most important thing. That'd be on my mind. This whole time, if I was on this adventure, I'd be like,
definitely was inspired by this fucking movie.
Oh, yeah. Look at this guy.
Even the set designs that they created look very similar to the original Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. They should have had that big, gigantic guy from Bloodsport in here, too.
Bolo Young?
Yeah, I think that's his name, is it?
Mm-hmm. That's Jean-Claude Van Damme's BFF. So, like, what, is he hypnotizing them with his kata?
There's a test that's supposed to be called the Burning Blade. Like, Lopan will only marry the girl that survives the Burning Blade. But as you will come to... Oh, spoilers. Don't mean to ruin any spoilers.
No.
Both of them will survive.
Yeah, see, but look at this set. The set's great as they're crossing the bridge. Very Goonies-esque.
Yeah.
He's so out of place. Like, it's like... you look at everybody, and I mean, he looks like he's on, he should be on a trip to Barbados with that shirt. I mean, like, it looks like he was inconvenienced. Like he was on a beach and they were like, "Hey, Jack, we need your help. Can you come here for a second?" And then he's like, "Okay, sure, no problem. Just get my jeans and my boots." I love it.
Yeah, supposedly, The Rock, I think, was the one that actually tried to bring back the film into fruition. It was like, hey, we should do like a reboot or something like that. Like,
yes, that was a few years ago now.
No, leave this movie alone. Don't reboot this.
Leave it alone.
Yeah, The Rock is, The Rock is getting too
oversaturated.
Well, he's just
oversaturated.
No, well, yes, but no, he's getting like comically big now. Like, I mean, like physically, where he's starting not to look like, I don't believe him, because here's the problem. In order for, and I know I'm thinking way too like serious about this, but in order to get that big, right? Like physically, right? And to maintain that level of physique is a full-time job in and of itself. Like, we know that.
He's like, what?
Right?
He's got to be pushing 50.
Well, he is. But the characters, like with Arnold, when, a lot of the characters he would play, it's like, yeah, I kind of believe he's this military guy. I believe he's the Terminator. I believe he's the guy in Commando, or even True Lies, or Predator, or like what had like his physique fit. And like The Rock is way bigger than Arnold was at that time. Not that Arnold wasn't huge. He was, but Arnold in action movies was a bit more slender than he was as bodybuilding, right? Because he wasn't on the roids either. And he wasn't, working out to be Mr. Olympia, or what have you. So
he was his normal physique. By the time we get to Terminator 2 and like Last Action Hero, that's his normal physique.
Yeah. But he's still huge. I mean, he's still ripped. He's still got huge guns, and he still looks great.
He was in great shape, but he wasn't Mr. Olympia, Terminator 1 size.
Exactly. But so the thing that I find with The Rock is that like he's so huge that even if he walks into a room in a suit, he looks ridiculously huge. And you cannot tell me that this guy is just an accountant, or, he's, whatever he's doing, because like in order for you to maintain that physique, how do you have time to be the character you're playing? You know what I mean? Like, I don't believe, like, you're too big, like you're too comical. Like, Jungle Cruise, I haven't seen it. Apparently it was a good movie, but it's like, dude, fuck, really? Like, you're a Jungle Cruise captain. Like, come on. You know what I mean? Like, you're fucking ginormous. You know, like it's comical to me. It's just, see, he's all, you know, and then you see him on his Instagram. And he's like, hey, what's going on? Like, I swear to God, his voice is getting more raspy and deeper. And I'm like, dude, is that really all natural? I don't know. Like, I don't know. There's just something about The Rock. He's huge. I mean, his head's getting small now.
I hope he's natural because, man, the supplements, if you're taking any supplements to be that size, it's not good on the ticker the older you get.
No, and when you look at The Rock, look at The Rock in movies like in the early part of the 2000s.
Bodybuilders over the last month, like 5 or 6 of them have been dropping dead. You know what I mean? Like, it's like.
But look at The Rock in movies like The Rundown and that one he did, the Walking Tall, and he's muscular, but he looks like a fucking dweeb in those movies compared to what he is now. He's just ridiculous. He's ridiculous. He's ridiculous. And I just find that every movie he's in, I'm like, why is this gigantic man, this huge, gigantic man, you know, the accountant playing a dad? You know, it's just like, come on. You know, he's the ferry boat captain. No, he's not. He's the fucking Hulk. Okay? He's huge. Like, it's ridiculous. I mean,
I give the man credit for the dedication that he does. I just hope. I sincerely hope it doesn't come back to bite him because, like I said, if the longer you're on those types of supplements as you get older, it really is not good for your heart.
It is, and
it is not.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that a lot of the movies The Rock is, not all of them. I mean, if he wants to be that Hobbs or Shaw or I don't know, whatever. Hobbs, yeah, that's fine. Like, I get it, right? Because he's that. You know, it's the movie, it's the character, it's the action, it's the large. I get that, but he can't play the everyman. I'm sorry, like, dude, you can't play the everyman caught up in a crazy situation. You can't. You're fucking huge. You're like 300 pounds. You're like the size. My head is the size of your finger. Like, I cannot relate to you at all. Okay, so get out. You know, it's just huge. Anyway, back to. Big Trouble in Little China here.
Sidetrack.
But imagine The Rock. Imagine The Rock, the size he is now, playing Jack Burton. It's like,
dude, just look at The Rock in, like you said, Walking Tall, or like back when he was like in the early 2000s fine. In WWE. Yeah, right. He just was a big guy that just, you know, he worked out. He looked good, and now forget it.
But can you see The Rock now as imagine The Rock now in a tank top running down this thing like he's a truck driver. Okay, first of all, long-haul truck drivers do not have the time to get that massive. Have you seen truck drivers? No offense to truck drivers. Okay, we love you. Thank you for our food. Okay, but like,
pretty much,
come on.
Supplies and
exactly. But come on, there ain't no there are not too many rock-sized truck drivers. Okay, just saying. Yeah, this set design is great.
It's amazing. Yeah.
I agree, Warren. Jason Statham is definitely better. His physique is what I aim for. That's the physique that I like. It's, you know, tone, strong, and it's good.
So what would be your favorite part of this movie, Patrick?
Honestly, I would say, I think this battle sequence is probably my favorite scene in the whole film.
Cool.
And yeah, it does lead off with him shooting, Jack Burton shooting in the ceiling, and the rocks knock him out cold, and he just passes out basically for most of the fight.
Right.
But I love this part. It's
very
just,
cool.
It's like, what the hell is this thing? Okay, slow pans like thing. All right, this is great. All right, cool.
This is like just Carpenter saying, we've already gone this far. I'm going further.
Yeah.
You know, fuck it.
Yeah. And how would you since he's supposed to be just this regular truck driver who's got caught up in this thing, how do you explain this to your buddies after you leave? So where were you, Jack? Well, how do you explain this?
You're not going to believe it.
You're not going to believe what I just went through. And how do you go back to truck driving after this? Like, how do you go back to the monotony of the long haul? And listen, and I sincerely mean this, shout out to the truck drivers who spend that much time driving back and forth, especially the long haul ones. And I mean, but how do you have an adventure like this
really
and then go back?
Drive to do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
How do you go back? He quits his job and he just becomes part of the whatever
superhero squad.
Totally. The Dark Light sends in a $5 super chat. Thank you. Says, Rock posted a pic of his breakfast. Egg whites and stuff. Then you could see at least 12 huge vitamins in a cup next to the plate. He takes those in a day. Yeah. I mean, he's the Rock. He's just the regular. He's just the regular dad next door who's going to his 9-to-5 job, who's going to save the day.
Of course.
I love that skull too. That's an awesome skull.
Yeah, I love the elevator too. That just or the escalator that
comes down. Yeah. It's like they're in a mall or something, you know. Yeah, that's so great. They should have had like look at his character.
This thing. I mean,
it's so awesome. There's a little bit of early computer animation there for sure.
A little bit.
Yeah. I love this creature. This is great.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles creature.
He also reminds me of Beastman from He-Man too.
Yes.
You guys remember He-Man? Beastman?
Oh yeah. Beastman was great. Skeletor. You boob. You incompetent boob. Yeah, he called He-Man a boob. Skeletor. Actually, I stand to be corrected, but I think the voice actor who voiced He-Man also voiced Beastman.
Oh.
Yeah. Just like, what's his name? Oppenheimer there. I forget his first name now, but the guy that voiced Skeletor in the cartoon also voiced Man-at-Arms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Same character, or same voice actor.
So have you all watched the new He-Man animated series on
Dave
Netflix?
has, I haven't.
I did, I did. I actually liked it. I liked the first 5 because it's just the first 5 episodes, and there's going to be another 5. And and I know a lot of the complaints were like, oh, He-Man's not really in it or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but I mean, if that was the end, I'd be like, well, that's kind of like, what the hell is this? But they're setting up a big story, and they've just basically presented you like half the story. So I love the way it ended. I was like, oh my God, he actually did it. It's like, what? Skeletor, what's going on? What's happening? So anyways, it ends on a big, I mean, I enjoy, I liked it enough to see where it goes for sure. But I know it gets a lot of complaints from people saying, oh, it's all, about Tila. And it's like, no, not real. I mean, yes and no. And, anyway, there's a whole, everything's political nowadays. I thought it was all right, though.
Cool.
Yeah. I've seen, see that face in the background, too. That's really cool. Was that the skull before, or are they in a different room now?
I think they're on the other side.
On the other side.
Okay, yeah.
There's this gigantic clan in the underground of Little Chinatown.
Yeah, because after Lopan pricks Miao Yin, that's when Jack will shoot the ceiling and the rocks will hit him on the head. Yeah.
I was right.
Yeah, you're right.
I knew there was something that hit him on the head. I was right. Yeah, I was like, doesn't he try to be cool and then gets hit in the head and it's like, yeah, that's right. How he ends up surviving is incredible. Like he should have been dead an hour ago.
Oh, this is great too. If you watch the girl, not this scene, but you watch her in the next cut, you can actually see her squirm a little bit. Like,
oh, okay.
She's like, oh, you're hurting me too much with the needle.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. The commentary on this movie, if you guys do listen to the Big Trouble in Little China commentary on it, it's great. It's Kurt Russell and John Carpenter, and they just they sound like they have so much fun. Yeah.
I do have the Blu-ray, so I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's really good. Oh yeah, here it comes.
Here it is. He's all set. He's ready. He's like, yeah, come on, Jack Burton, baby, Jack Burton. Yeah, you see, everybody's like, there he is. See, wait. What a nerd. What a complete buffoon.
In this movie? I can't remember.
I don't think
does he get his moment at all?
He's a complete buffoon. It's amazing. It's so awesome. Isn't he just like lying there unconscious right now or something? Is he? Or is he unconscious?
He gets up, but even that, when he gets up is great. He does something which he even looks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's great. Like, yeah, I'm ready.
It's like, yeah, I'm going to save the day here.
Yeah, here he goes.
Yeah.
He's going to save the day. He's going for it. This is so great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I wish I could do, just so I could do it. The backflips and stuff. I would do. That's just amazing. It's so cool. My cousin was a gymnast for many years, and she could do that. And whenever she came to visit, I was like, "Come on, do it." I just thought it was such a cool thing to do. No way. I mean, I can't even do a cartwheel, for God's sakes. I'd be useless in this situation. Yeah.
Yeah, here he goes. Oh, no.
Here it is. Oh, no, ain't happening. Your gun's gone. Look at him. He's completely useless. He's just standing there watching. He's useless. It's so good. It's so good. But it's fun because that's the idea, right? Like that's part of the character. Yeah, like what the hell is he doing? I'll save you.
He's kind of the
he's getting his knife.
Comic relief. Oh yeah, this is great too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess there he goes. Yeah.
He's getting his knife. Oh. Ooh. It actually worked.
Stuck on him.
Got stuck on him. It's actually kind of working. It's just people jumping and leaping and
No, I never saw it. Was it Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon? I never saw that. I guess.
Yes.
I still need to see that, but a lot of people are like, "Oh, it looks like this film might have influenced it." But I'm like, no. I mean, there's lots of previous history films that do that
for
so,
sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, especially in their own culture as well.
Yeah.
If anything, this was taken from a lot of influence.
Yeah.
For sure. I can. When you watch this fight sequence, you can totally see Crouching Tiger.
Yeah.
Look, he's stuck. He's completely useless. He's not in the fight at all. He's not in the fight. He has no bearing on the outcome. I mean, I guess he sort of, what's the word? He not immobilized, but he sort of took out a commission, I guess I could say, that one character, I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess he's like, it's all right, guys, I'll just lie here with this guy. I mean, it's not even, he has no effect. This is great. I forgot about this. It's so funny.
Yeah, that was a total Raiden thing. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
He's still lying on the ground. Now he's getting up. He's missed all the action.
Love it.
He's missed all the action. He's just trying to get his... Looks like they're going up the escalator.
So yes, you can't really describe this movie. You really can't. I think it's a good quote movie. Like you can
for
say
sure.
some pretty good lines.
Like how do you? It's like an episode of Scooby-Doo. Like so much happens in the movie. It's like, how do you describe it? Yeah. Look at this. It's great. It's so satirical and just silly and campy, but it's great. Where is Burton? There he is.
Oh, yeah.
Say hi, honey.
Man.
Does he get her in the end? I think he does, right? Or he...
She kind of
brushes him off. Well, yeah, like you're fucking useless, Jack.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't count on you for anything.
Man.
Yeah, this is like the set pieces and there's the monster. And she kicks him, so saves him right there. I mean, if she wasn't there, that could have been it. Yeah, you're right. It's not even... You're right in a sense that he's not... It's funny that he's front and center even on the poster because you're almost not even... You're right. He's not even the main... Like he doesn't, I hate to say this, but he doesn't have a lot to do in some ways. Like he does. It's not that he doesn't at all, but you're right. He's sort of the comic relief, but kind of like had he not been there, would have everything turned out the same anyway? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I know there's that argument in Raiders of the Lost Ark too, that, you know, had Indiana Jones not been there, the still, you know, the thing would have ended up the same way. But it's like, and I've heard people kind of go, yeah, but no, and they've kind of made points or whatever. But I don't know.
I love how he has the lipstick on still.
He does. Oh yeah, yeah, from kissing her. That's right. And it's like so perfect. Oh, I remember this now. I think he kind of gets his due here a little bit.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he gets a little bit of a moment, I think. That's right. It's got the lipstick and everything.
I just love the cockiness of it.
I know.
Love how
it's so hard to take him seriously because of the lipstick, too. It's like, what the hell? I mean, it's so macho and so great.
Yeah.
Yeah. His buddy comes in.
Yeah.
See if I was Jack Burton, I'd be like, dude, fuck off. Can you at least just let me do this one thing?
Yeah.
Oh, he's fighting at least. He's getting dirty, he's getting sweaty. I mean, that's at least, he's got his knife.
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
Here it is. Jack Burton. Come on, Jack. Yes, he did it. Not. Didn't do anything. Not. What is this, 1996? Who the hell says that anymore?
Oh, yeah.
I love it. He can't even throw the knife. Oh! That was badass! Oh!
Jack Burton, man.
That was badass! That was this only badass move in the entire movie! That was badass! And everything that's it! He did it! I'm Jack Burton, truck driver. Hey, folks, it's not how you begin. It's how you finish, baby. It's how you finish. That's what it is. That's unreal. And it's like it's the way he catches it and just like I would never have bet this character could catch the knife, you know, let alone throw it back at him like that. That's just awesome. That's great. I forgot about that. That's so great.
Just throw some shit. Yeah. Do some flips. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, was that him doing flips? Oh, no. I thought it was Jack Burton for a minute. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like totally gone off the deep end.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is the guy that got like really big, right? Yeah, that's right. Looks like he wants to take a crap or something. He's in pain. Oh, my God. Oh my God, that's right. I forgot he's getting huge. Looks like he's got a real bad case of diabetes. Oh, yes! I forgot.
Garbage Pail Kid.
I know. I forgot about all these awesome effects. This is amazing. Yeah, Garbage Pail Kids. Yes.
You remember those? He looks like a Garbage Pail Kid.
He kind of does. Yes. This is great. This is so good. Yeah, this is I mean, really, Jack can continue to fuck up for the rest of the movie. That one badass move, like, just basically, you know, made up for all the other moves.
Yeah. Hang it up. You're done.
I'm Jack Burton, truck driver.
So embarrassing enough, I do have that tank top that was given to me from my sister-in-law. No. She's like, here you go. I'm like, I'm not going to wear it.
That is amazing. Dude, I'm just going to say, if you if you had shown up tonight,
rocking that tank
top, dude. Amazing. That would have been amazing.
Next time.
Next time. That's what it is. Yes. Well, next time.
I do have a Jack Burton action figure. I did find that before. So yeah.
Awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Is that is that NECA or who did that?
I can't remember. I've had it for I think almost 20 years. So,
wow. So probably not NECA.
Found it. Yeah.
No. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome.
Holy crap! I actually had this. I forgot.
Yeah. That's great. Jack Burton action figure. It's amazing. I wonder who made that. That's really cool. 20 years ago. Yeah. I wonder who did that. Yeah. I don't think NECA's been around for that long. Maybe they have. I don't know.
Oh, supposedly, if you see the little Chinese symbol that just showed, that's supposed to stand for Carpenter.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, because I've always been like, what the heck is that? And it was like, oh, little nod.
Yeah, why not? Getting out. I love how they're just retracing all the steps that they just, now they're back in the fire hall. They're trying to get through wherever they are. The fire hall? No, they're there's his truck. Yes. It's like they've just seen, hey, look, it's the Falcon. Come on, let's go. It's the Millennium Falcon. They're all piling into the Millennium Falcon right now. And here are the stormtroopers. There's the stormtroopers right there. It's them when he's trying to get away. Yeah. That was Chewie that just threw that. Yeah, that's it. See, they're all in the cockpit here. Well, Kurt Russell auditioned to be Han Solo. Years he was one of the ones that auditioned.
I've seen the footage on that.
Yeah. If you just YouTube Kurt Russell Han Solo audition, it'll come up.
Like him and Mark Hamill are having back and forth dialogue.
For sure.
That would have been interesting.
I could have seen him for sure. Yep. I think he would have been a good Han Solo.
He would have been good. There's a swag that Ford brings to that character that just it's Han. It's Han. Until you get to Return of the Jedi, then you're like, okay, Ford, you're phoning it in. By the time you get to Return of the Jedi, you're like, Ford's like, dude, I'm talking to little furry creatures. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Even though that's my favorite in the franchise, you can tell he's not putting all his effort into it. Not like he did Empire. Like you could see when in Empire, he's at his Han peak in that movie. I love you.
They're all celebrating now. Then it ends on this moment where it's like, I don't know. What's he doing there? Oh, it was like,
he's just, yeah.
Like a little self-serving, if you know what I mean. Like, what's going on here? Yeah, this guy here, he's in The Golden Child as well. Pretty sure
he was in a lot of shit in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Prince of Darkness too. The John Carpenter, what was it?
Yeah.
Prince of Darkness come out 87.
Yeah, like I think Prince of Darkness was his next movie after this one, I think. I think. Hey Google, what year did Prince of Darkness come out?
In the United States of America, Prince of Darkness came out on October 23rd, 1987.
Yeah, 87.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jack. Look at him. He's all like, well, I guess I'll just go back to trucking now. How do you go back to your job as if it didn't happen? Well, he's got the
man
girl.
of the road.
Oh, yeah. Here's Kim.
He's got the girl. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Look at him. I could see him being Han.
Yeah.
What's going on there, baby?
I just love how he totally brushes her off. Like,
oh yeah.
we should come together. And she's like, nah, I'll see you.
So what did he get? Wait, he got paid, right? Did he get paid for all that? Did he get paid for? Can't remember.
Yeah. So basically, his friend Wang was looking for his fiance at the airport, and so it was like, hey, I need your help, and then more or less, Wang's getting back at him for some money. So
now, do you think he should have gotten the girl, or do you think they did a right call on that?
I think a right call. My opinion, I think it's the right call.
Yeah.
Because that's just totally Jack.
Right.
So freaking clueless.
Right. I got you. Look at this shot right here. He's like, all right, it's time to hit the road. That's right. Yeah, as if he did anything in this fucking movie.
What the hell is this?
I would not feel confident if I had to pick Jack Burton to be on my team. Like somehow it's just kind of like, look at him. He's in the truck. That's it. He's back to his old.
Now he's pounding it down like Loomis in his pickup truck.
He is.
Or not pickup truck, 18-wheeler.
He is. He's just pounding it down. Jack Burton. He's got to explain.
Well, there you go. That is Jack Burton in Halloween 4 who picks up Loomis on the road. He's just very aged. He's aged. He was aged from his experience in Big Trouble in Little China. It aged him.
That's it.
Rapidly.
That's it. Oh, wait a minute. What do we see here? Oh!
Beastman.
Yeah. Oh, that should
John
be
Carpenter's epic song.
Yes. Oh yeah, I'm gonna turn this up here.
Yeah, I can't believe it's him. I think it's so funny.
That's John Carpenter.
Like that's Tommy Lee Wallace.
Yeah.
Nick Castle.
It's got to be Nick Castle.
Yeah, Coupe de Bills. I wonder what happened. I mean, come on.
That might be John.
I think it is.
Singing the chorus.
I think it's John who's doing the leads, and I think it's Nick that's doing the, I guess the chorus. I think. If the music video is correct and factual, it's John. Yeah, because the music video is hilarious. It's terrible.
Oh, I gotta watch that. That's fucking great. That is great. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Big Trouble in Little China from 1986, directed by John Carpenter, starring Kurt Russell, Kim Cattrall, and Short Round from featuring
the classic hit single from the Coupe de Villes.
Yes. What an awesome movie that was indeed. Listen, Patrick, you got a few moments just to take some questions, or do you have to skedaddle?
No, absolutely. That sounds great.
That sounds great. Tony, how are you doing for time?
I'm good.
You're good? All right. Well, let's head over to the chat room and see what you guys are saying. A super chat did come in from Heath Lawn, I guess.
Heath Ledger? What?
Heath Ledger? What? $5 says, chestnuts roasting at an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Jack Burton nipping at your nose. That's all that super chat was. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate the super chat. Any questions you guys have whatsoever, send them in, and we will take your questions here for a few moments. Anything and everything. Let's just start the timer, and when the first Halloween question will come in. 5, 4, 3.
There it is.
No, there it is. Judy!
You didn't even get 5 seconds in.
I didn't even get 5 seconds in. We love it. We love you, June. Yes. You think Dr. Loomis was disciplined as a kid?
Absolutely.
I do. Patrick, what do you think? You think Dr. Loomis was disciplined as a kid?
100%. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. I thank you. Thank you for the super chat, June. Yes, I think so. I think anybody who goes off to medical school to become a psychiatrist and to that sort of thing, I think he was very disciplined. I think he was maybe a bit of a recluse, a bit of a nerd. Didn't have too many friends, and went to psychiatry school. And that's how I feel.
Yeah. I agree.
Cody Snyder sent in $2 and says, good to be back. Love our community. Well, thank you very much, Cody. Appreciate the super chat there very much. Cody, of course, one of my great patrons as well. Chester Franklin Jr. says, John Carpenter sang Nick Castle, play piano or synthesizer, and Tommy Wallace played guitar. That's right. Yeah, that is right. The Coupe de Ville. I've heard a few of their songs. They're actually not bad. They're actually really good.
Well, I mean, Carpenter is,
that's what I mean.
He's a big time music guy.
Yep.
Hardcore music guy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Nick Townsend says, Dave, Tony, or Patrick, have you seen Blood Simple, the Coen brothers' first film?
I have not.
I have not either. Blood Simple.
I've seen it. It's a really long time though, but it's definitely, if I remember really liking it. I can tell you that, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Long time ago.
Okay, I'll have to look that one up. I think it's the Coen brothers too, not the Coen brothers. I think it's the Coen. But anyway, I know what you meant, buddy. Sweet Tea sends in a very generous super chat of $20 for the channel, my friends. Be safe too. Thank you very much, Sweet Tea. The tea, and every time Sweet Tea sends us in, I have to say this. The tea is sweet tonight.
Well, on a positive note, I'm very happy to see that she, because hope she doesn't get mad, but she got COVID. And I was talking with her privately on Instagram, checking up on her to make sure she was all right.
Well, it's wonderful that you are safe and sound, that you are okay. That is the most important thing, Sweet Tea. That is great. Great that you're here. Great that you're feeling better. That is the most important thing. And because
there was a couple of days I didn't see her pop up on my Instagram, and I actually started to get worried. I was like, man, no.
Hey, when there's no Sweet Tea around, you're like, what's going on here? Where's the Sweet Tea? And yeah, Sweet Tea also informed me the other day that she received her It's Me Billy t-shirt in the mail. So that is great. I'm glad that you received that. Very good. Very good. Patrick, have you received yours?
I did.
Okay,
I was just
good.
gonna say I got that. So thank you very much. It's awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Because yeah, and okay, good. Because I was like, oh, I wonder if Patrick received that. No, I haven't. I haven't received that yet. Good, awesome. Okay, great. I'm glad you did. Let's see. Yeah, and the Blu-rays are in the middle of. We're in the process of getting those made as we speak. So hopefully we'll have them sooner rather than later. It's a process because you gotta, you're working with the company and then they send you kind of proofs. You got to make sure everything's okay, and then you got to send it back and kind of tweak things, and but it's a bit of a process, but we're getting there. What else we got going on here?
Bobby Hall, 3 dudes. Who would win in a fight between Yoda and Mr. Miyagi? Mr. Miyagi, because he's based on a real character. He actually is. The Miyagi character is actually based on some. Oh God, I forget the guy's name now. The martial artist who actually. It's not the guy who does the crane technique who also plays Vidal in the Karate Kid, because the guy who plays Vidal in the Karate Kid who fights Johnny in the semifinals in the tournament before he fights Daniel. Vidal, they did him up to be you don't really see it because it's a far away shot, but he does the crane. I believe it's him that does the crane technique on the stump, pretending to be Miyagi. But the guy Miyagi is actually based on a real life sensei, like a real life dude. So I only say that because Yoda's a fictional character.
I get you. I get you. I get you. I understand. I would say that, but I mean, if you look at it like in a real world, like
in fantasy land, yeah, Yoda. Shit.
Obviously, Yoda would just,
he would think it like,
exactly.
Miyagi would be like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
Why am I waxing on and waxing off? This is Daniel's job.
Here's a good question for everybody. Who's an actor this is Bishop Walters, who's an actor that plays tough guys, but you can't really buy into them? For me, it's Will Smith. What about you guys? So what about you, Patrick?
That's a good one, because I don't buy him as a tough guy either.
Yeah.
Ooh, actually, I was just going to say Will Smith. That's the first one that came to my head, because I'm like, yeah, I mean, because what did I watch recently with him? Actually, Independence Day.
The jury, because we haven't seen it yet, the jury's out on Arpats playing Batman, so we'll see how that goes. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm being hopeful that we but and I'm not judging him because of Twilight, that has nothing to do with that. Just he's a great actor, he's evolved as an actor, but I mean, I like the Vengeance video that they did with the Nirvana playing in the background. The trailer they dropped like 2 years ago, it seems like. Who knows? I mean, we'll see.
But Will Smith,
No, I can't.
Patrick, for you,
yeah. I can't. I can't. I mean,
Will Smith will always be the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
Will always be the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Well, you were saying you were watching Independence Day, and was there something about Independence Day that you watched it again and you're like, I'm kind of not feeling it?
Yeah, I'm just not feeling it. Maybe it's just his figure or just his stature. I don't know what it is, but yeah, he doesn't really. Besides being the Fresh Prince.
I think for me, when I watched Independence Day, because Tony and I watched it on Independence Day, actually.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen it in years. And that was, I believe that, well, no, actually Bad Boys was. But Independence Day was Will Smith's second movie, I think. Sort of, he was transitioning from Fresh Prince into feature films. And because I hadn't seen Independence Day in so long, watching it, he's so young. And watching it, I'm like, I'm having trouble believing him in this role. Whereas in 1996, of course, I was 17, so he was like 10 years older than me, right? So I mean, you kind of didn't feel that age. I think how old? Hey Google, how old is Will Smith?
He's got to be 50.
He's 52. Yeah. So he's 52. Okay. 52, 42, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27. So yeah, he was 27 in 96. So 10 years older. So yeah. So, 17 to 27's, that's quite a difference, at that age, at that time, right? Maturity, kind of looks wise a bit. But looking back as a 42-year-old man, looking back at 27-year-old Will Smith, I kind of find it a little, but then again, he is the age that these military guys would be, you know what I mean? So, you got to look at it like that too. But I think you're right. I think he was still kind of baby face a bit. He's still kind of baby a little bit, even though he was 27, he kind of had that youth to him. And I think maybe now that he's older, he looks old. He looks more like a man now. But yeah, Will Smith, yeah, I could see that. I don't know. For me, I'm not sure. An actor that I have trouble getting into as a tough guy. Well, you know what? It's not directly with what you were saying, Bishop, but sort of going back to what I was saying earlier about The Rock. I mean, The Rock obviously has the physique. You can believe him in certain roles, but the problem I have with The Rock is when he tries to play the regular guy. He's just too big. He's too enormous.
The regular guy playing the tough guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's like he's like, I don't believe you're too huge. You're too huge. Like to maintain that is and we know this. I mean, The Rock is like, one dumbbell away from being a full-time bodybuilder. And when he goes to do films, I read that he actually has a gym on set. Because he's got to maintain
it's like $100,000 gym too.
Of
it's
course.
Like something that we would dream of.
The Rock can't, like Dwayne Johnson, to maintain that level of physique, can't work out for 6 months and then go shoot a movie for 3 months and not lift a weight. He can't, because he's got to maintain that physique throughout the film. Yeah. So it's just, I think for me, totally believe him as like a commando or an army guy or whatever. But Jungle Cruise, I'm kind of like, where are the dumbbell? How is this man that huge in 18 something or whatever that year that took place? Where's this guy working out to be that huge? Like, what's he lifting? Like, yeah, like what the hell is he lifting, man? Like what's going on? Anyway, so that I'm kind of like, I love The Rock. I think he's fun and he's great in certain roles, but there's some roles I'm like, I find him distracting because he's so huge. That's what it is. Anyway, so I guess that's kind of my thing. But all right, a couple other super chats did come in, I thought. Oh yeah, Frank, my man, Frank Riker sends in $5. Says, for Patrick's great taste in movies and the sexy motherfuckers in the chat. Thank you very much, Frank. Appreciate Frank. That. Yeah, Frank's awesome. Well, sort of, but no, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Colin Murdy says, have any of you guys seen The Lodge yet? I have it arriving tomorrow along with Conjuring 3. Haven't seen either yet, but my hopes are not high for Conjuring 3. Heard great reports on The Lodge. I have not seen either, but I know Tony has seen Conjuring 3. Before we get to Tony, hang on a sec, Tony. Hold it back, hold it in. Patrick, have you seen either of those two?
I've seen The Conjuring 3, yes.
And what were your thoughts on The Conjuring 3, Patrick?
I'm not a huge Conjuring guy, but I can definitely tell you the third one was, it was really hard. Can't say very much. I won't say, not a whole lot nice things to say, I guess. But yes, it was hard to watch. It was hard to watch. Wasn't focusing the whole time, yes.
Okay. All right. I understand. I'm a big fan of the first movie. I know Tony is as well. I like the second movie. You know, I don't think it's as good as the first, but it's, you know, it's fine. But I haven't seen the third one yet, and I haven't seen The Lodge. Tony,
I would.
We know your thoughts.
Listen. I would enjoy a blowjob from a girl with a sore on her lips, God. Before ever watching The Conjuring 3 ever again. That movie is such dog shit. It was a disgrace to the story, okay? And that's the reason why I don't like it. This is
Tony's Rotten Tomatoes headline.
I know the story that it's surrounded, and it was so not the story. And they went into like some left field direction with it, with maybe sprinkles of what happened. And I just was like, no, please bring James Wan back. Thanks.
My God. So I think the first part that you opened with there, if you were a Rotten Tomatoes critic, would be your Rotten Tomatoes headline right there. Yeah.
I'd take a blowjob from a girl with a sore on her lip before ever watching that movie again.
Wow. That's what it is.
Never gonna. It's not even gonna go into the. I own The Nun. I would watch The Nun before watching The Conjuring 3. I'm not even. It's not even going into the collection. It doesn't exist. I'm just gonna skip it like I do with the Friday the 13th movies. Just skip it.
I have yet to see The Conjuring 3. I am going to watch it because I want to watch it and, you know, see how I feel. I pretty much probably know how I'm going to feel, but I do have to watch it still. So I've yet to see The Lodge or The Conjuring 3. We wish you the best of luck there, Colin. But remember, hey, just because
you
Patrick
might like it,
you might like it.
You know, I mean, I know some people liked it, but again, I think because I'm also coming at it from a different point of view. I really am, because I shared that story where I did a book report on this this story that happened in Connecticut, because this happened in, you know, where I grew up. Yeah. And we all knew about the story, and I did a report on it in high school. So I came at it anticipating more of what I was hoping to get, which was more of the real story. We got a sprinkle of it mixed in with, I think this guy, I forget his name, who directed it. He was trying to be James Wan and just couldn't deliver it. James Wan really should have, if anything, Wan should have done a trilogy and call it a day. And whether it was this story or Amityville, I definitely do think I don't know how you can come back from it. I think they should maybe take a break from this franchise. You know, Vera and Patrick are both, you know, Patrick's only a few years older than us. I mean, he's in his mid to late 40s. So, and Vera's not much, you know, she's in that ballpark too. Right. You know, they could come back when they get a little bit older, you know, and do some more Ed and Lorraine stuff when they're older. So I'd be anxious to see that. But there's just so much shit that didn't happen during this time frame that they brought in to the movie that just was like, it happens in the Warrens. Like something happens to Ed in this movie that eventually does happen to him in the 80s, but they bring it into this story when that didn't happen. Like it had no, like, and it just was like, why are we doing this? Like, why are you trying to tie in so much information? Just keep it simple. Stick to the story itself. Sells itself. You don't need to go like,
well, I mean, I agree. And, you know, obviously that was part of the creative liberty portion of the writing and, you know,
and I get that,
to tell. Yeah, exactly. You know, to tell a story that is quote unquote based on true events, and then you add your own kind of spin to it. And I agree with you. I think, you know, The Conjuring is great. I mean, it's a modern classic, probably one of the best horror movies of its kind. Certainly studio produced.
The first
Hollywood.
One,
yeah. Studio produced, wide release. There's a lot of great independent foreign films out there as well. But certainly when it comes to big studio, wide release Hollywood horror films, because most of them are garbage, it's probably the best one of the last 20 years or so of its kind, certainly of its subgenre, which is, the possession supernatural. And the sequel is acceptable. The third one is not very good. I agree. I think maybe so I'm hearing, maybe just kind of leave it as a trilogy. More
if you
often
want to
than
come back later on,
right, right. And maybe Wan will come back. I mean, I'm sure after Malignant, he's doing Aquaman too. He's probably going to want to go off and do other things.
Malignant's got me intrigued. I keep seeing it pop up.
I'm hearing great things and mixed things, and
I'm intrigued. It's got me, at least enough to go. I want to watch this.
Yeah. Have you seen Malignant yet, Patrick?
No, not yet, but I'm actually very curious. I do want to see it.
Yeah, I'm hearing mixed things. I'm hearing it's a very the execution, the style, stylistically, I'm hearing things like campy, but in a really good way, some cheese, but really good cheese, a twist. It's like, wow, but then some people and it's like, wow, it sounds like a bunch of subgenres of horror kind of all rolled into one or something to that effect. So I'm curious on seeing it. Now, whether Wan will come back to Conjuring or even Insidious, we know Patrick Wilson is doing Insidious 5. I think Insidious ran its course.
Yeah. And I wish Patrick Wilson nothing but the best with it. I think it's great that he's getting his directorial debut and getting his feet wet with that.
Sure.
I hope but I agree. I think Insidious is definitely we're at the end of the line with that too.
Yeah, and the first one was great too. But Wan said something, one of the reasons why he did Malignant was he said something that I always say too, is that and he warned people, he said it's different because the trailers make it look like, and I said this too on my show, the trailers look, if I didn't know it was James Wan, I probably wouldn't care to, the trailers make it look, there's moments in the trailers where you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's very James Wan-y, but overall it looks very pedestrian, kind of what you'd expect from this kind of a subgenre of a film. But the name James Wan makes me think, okay, I'm going to give this the benefit of the doubt. Well, I'm hearing the early reviews. I've stayed away from spoilers, but I've heard sort of a general consensus, and I'm like, oh, wow. Apparently, it's nothing like the trailers.
Is it out? Is it out?
Oh, it's out. Theaters? It's out in theaters right now.
When did it come out?
And on HBO Max. Just this past weekend. And
okay, so then chances are it'll be available on iTunes next week. All right, because it's not in there right now.
It's on HBO Max, though.
I'm not, no.
Okay. So I'm curious to see it, but Juan said, in regards to Malignant, because it's an original idea and something that maybe a lot of people haven't seen before, he said he chose to do this instead of, just doing the same thing over again. So whether, of course, famous last words, he's saying that now. He's still, relatively young too. He's not that much older than us, actually. Hey, Google, how old is James Wan? 43 or 44? 44, yeah. So, I mean, he's essentially our age. So, he could come back.
A decade. Yeah, if they went 10 years without a Conjuring film, they could come back in 10 years. If everyone's healthy and nothing happens.
But whether James Wan would or not, I don't know. I don't think he's eager to revisit these Insidious, Conjuring, Saw, all that shit right now. But, fast forward 20 years from now, or 15 years from now, where he's got a few more films under his belt and he's exercised those creative juices where he's gotten sort of things off his chest, maybe he'll come back, maybe he'll just continue to make original horror content, which would be great too.
Yeah,
how do you feel about that, Patrick? Do you think, are you a James Wan fan? You're not a big fan of The Conjuring, but did you like Insidious?
I like the first one for what it was. I do have appreciation for it. It's not like I own it or watched a lot.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think so James Wan did Aquaman, and then didn't he do a Fast and Furious movie as well?
He did Fast 7, yeah.
He did Fast 7.
So I think it's pretty cool. He's trying to get a little bit diversive, with his work, which I think is really awesome. But
did he do Aquaman too?
He's shooting it right now.
He's shooting it, yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, hey, that's really cool. So he's definitely a director. I want to see what else he can do. But yeah, I do like the first Insidious, definitely, I think is probably my favorite out of the grouping. Saw, I wasn't a huge fan of the series.
I'm not a big Saw fan either.
Yeah.
So he just did the first one. He just did the first Saw.
I like the first one, but after that, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you though, that Insidious film, The Conjuring is great too. It's got great. That Insidious film though, there's some genuinely creepy. Like even the opening title sequence of the first Insidious film is creepy as hell. Yeah. You know, he's great. He's definitely, when it comes to horror, in terms of like big studio, because there's a lot of horror. There's a lot of horror directors out there. There's a lot of independent horror films out there, Japanese horror films, Italian horror. I mean, there's a lot of horror films that a lot of people here in North America don't get to see or don't want to bother to see because it's subtitled or, whatever, right? But as far as like mainstream Hollywood horror directors go, he's certainly up there, at least at this moment. I mean, quite successful. I mean, the first installment of he's got 3 movies that he's done that have spawned series, and we can make the argument that well, that's not always a good thing, but in terms of box office results, he did the first Saw. Look what happened. He did the first Insidious. Look what happened. He did the first Conjuring. Look what happened. You know what I mean? So he's definitely there. Okay. Reese Wilson sends in $30.99 Australian dollars. Thank you very much, Reese. And says, I can't send 1,148 times 2 like Wong owed Jack, but here's something for the channel. Nonetheless, great show, fellas. Thank you very much, Reese. Really appreciate that. Reese, of course, a fellow Two Dudes perk picker upper and great supporter of It's Me, Billy, and the channel.
He was on show number 2, right?
He was the last one we did. Yeah, we watched, what did we watch with Reese?
The Fog.
The Fog. That's right.
Fog.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. The Fog. All right, we'll go. Let's go 5 minutes or so. Take it to 8:30. That's kind of like a nice round number there. It's 2.5 hours. That's good. Let's see what else we got. Patrick, you pick one. You pick a question. Anything there, Patrick. Just whatever it is, even if it's not even addressed to you. It just doesn't matter.
Oh. Well, if you want to, actually, because I'm having some issues in trying to get the feed up.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Why don't you pick me a question?
Okay. All right. One. I will pick one. All right. Okay. Fine. All right. Fine, Patrick. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Sorry.
Fine. Fuck you. All right. Fuck you then. No. Okay. Here we go. All right. Here it is. Okay. Let me see here. What we got here? People talking Malignant, of course. Not surprising. We spent some time on it.
Halloween?
Halloween? What? Halloween?
Speaking of Halloween, just briefly here, it's because I've been so out of the loop. Like I didn't even, before the stream, they'll tell you I didn't even know Halloween Kills was going to Peacock. And I only stumbled across it through Dave's video because I was trying to pull the video up for the show tonight, and I'm like, oh, Halloween's going to Peacock. Okay. But you're because I'm on the YouTube channel right now, and your first video that's coming up here on the, if you're watching this live, is Halloween Kills review. Reviews are in some perspective. So what, people don't like it already?
Well, it premiered at the Venice Film Festival on September the 8th. And there are some reviews.
Too bloody, too gory, too many kills.
I'm sure that's part of it.
I'm offended because you killed too many people.
I'm sure that's part of it. Sure, that's part of it. That's
probably
it. I'm sure that's part of it. Okay, here we go. This is going. Bobby Hall.
Batshit fucking crazy. I want him to see. I want to see.
You're gonna see it.
Fucking crazy, Michael.
You
Myers.
are gonna see it. You are gonna
crazy.
See it.
I just want him to fucking go nuts.
Nuts.
That's what I want. I want to be like this. Kill that bitch, Roy.
Oh yeah.
That's what I want to be like in the movie.
Slow motion. Somebody's dying like this. That's what's going to happen. Well, it's gory as hell. Hey, Bobby Hall says, Dave.
Bring it. I want it.
Here you go. Patrick says Dave, but yes. It says Patrick. I know you don't like coffee. Oh, well, it's for me because I don't like coffee. But what about flavored coffee drinks?
Coffee drinker.
Like iced blended mochas or lattes? Well, I will say this. I don't like coffee. I hate the taste of coffee. But when my girlfriend picks up a green tea latte or pumpkin spice or something, I will often take an ice cap. I'll often take a little sip and I'm like, that is really good. But it's the sugar that makes it good. You know, the coffee part, I can still kind of taste the coffee part. I'm like, I don't like it. What about you, Patrick? Are you a big coffee person?
Yeah, and I'd like just plain drip coffee, and then I just drink it just black, nothing else. So yeah, I could probably go through about 4 or 5 cups a day. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not really big on the espresso drinks anymore. I guess getting older, I just want coffee. I want nothing else. Just
coffee. Bruce drinks coffee black.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's what he does. Oh yeah. I'm like
hardcore.
No. Oh. No. I've always hated the taste of coffee. Frank is telling me that, he took it away. Frank deleted it. So I guess I didn't miss his
Bishop Walters, opinions on Matrix 4. I like the trailer. The sequels were, I like Revolutions better than Reloaded. I think they could have came up with a better name than Resurrection. Like they could have just called it Matrix Reboot. Like talk about missing an opportunity. Like
technically it's Resurrections.
I would have been in the creative, room and been like, we're not going to call this Reboot. We're going to miss this opportunity. Like, I know. What the fuck? Like, are you kidding me? Like, but the trailer looks, I got to say the trailer definitely, I love the first Matrix. The second one would be, it basically goes in order, 1, 2, 3 for how I would rank them. Yeah. But this one looks, it looks all right.
But here's the thing. Why does he look like John Wick? Why couldn't they have at least, I think he was
cut
maybe
his hair again.
Yeah. Or put a wig on him where he has shorter hair, or I know he's preparing for John Wick 4 as well, but I'm like, all I see is John Wick.
They're doing a 4th one?
They are. All I see is John Wick in the Matrix. That's what I see. And the problem, and Keanu Reeves, there's nothing wrong with him, is, he's a Canadian too. I don't think he was born here, though. I think he was born over in
Keanu's just a good dude.
Lebanon or wherever he was. Anyway, he's a great dude. But the thing with Keanu Reeves is, he's not exactly the most charismatic guy. He's a little wooden. He's a little stiff. And so, when I look at him in the Matrix trailer, his character... I don't like, it could be John Wick 100%, because he's always this guy, whether he's what the fuck's his name, and
that's good.
But he's always that guy. You can say, well, Harrison Ford looks like the same person well, yeah, but he's playing a different character. Tom Cruise, same thing. You say, well, Tom Cruise looks like Tom Cruise in every movie. Yeah, but they're better actors. They have
what's her name? What's her name who plays Trinity? She looks good. I mean,
Carrie-Anne Moss
really
looks great for sure. But Keanu Reeves can't fall back on his acting ability in order to create the illusion he's many different characters. So sometimes, that's why it was kind of important that you saw him as, with a beard and hair, because the physical transformation of a Keanu Reeves helps you to buy into that this is a different guy from Speed, or a different guy from... the Matrix, or, because he's always this guy, and it's like, so when I see him in the Matrix trailer and he's like, what are we going to do? And I'm just like, this looks like John Wick, John Wick's having an acid trip of a dream. That's what this looks like, and that doesn't mean the movie's not going to be good. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, why does he have the long hair and the beard? I thought that was just a John Wick thing. Well, it's just a Keanu thing.
Well, maybe when Neo is rebooted on the proper title, they should have called this movie, maybe he comes out clean shaven.
Maybe that's it. Another lost opportunity was that movie. I
don't get why they did not call it Reboot. That makes no fucking sense.
Well, the other film.
Because I can tell you this much. If I was in the room with Winchowski, whatever her fucking name is, I would have been like, look, bitch, every movie with resurrection at the end of it sucks. Let's start with Halloween. Let's go with Aliens.
It doesn't matter if it's resurrection, resurgence, revenge, returns, reborn. It's, the 5 R's. The movie that was also a missed opportunity was the first movie was called Now You See Me. And the second,
now you don't. Yes.
And the
yes!
second,
I thought that too.
And the second movie was Now You See Me Too. What?
What? You don't call it Now You Don't?
What are you doing? How is this possible? This makes no sense.
I totally agree with that. Because we watched those on Labor Day week, both of them. On Labor Day. Those are fun magic movies. I mean, they're over the top, but they're fun. I guess Dave Franco really learned how to do a lot of those card stuff that he was doing in the films, which hats off to him.
Interesting.
But when we were talking about this, like, why didn't they call the second one Now You Don't? Like, why? That makes no fucking sense.
Makes no sense at all. All right. The Dark Light sends in $5. Thank you, Dark Light. Says, I heard Michael picks up Tommy by the ankles and shakes him upside down until coins and pocket lint fall out of his pants. H-Kill sounds insane. Yeah.
Boy, you owe me that money. I let you live.
Oh, that's funny shit. All right. One more question, and then we have to skedaddle here, folks. Let's see. One more question. Yeah, Keanu Reeves. Hey, what's going on? My name is
Although I gotta say, when I watched the new Bill and Ted movie and he was shaven, he looked weird. Like, not weird in a bad way. Just I'm used to him now with the beard.
Right, right. Well, they could have had him. Listen, it takes like a week for guys, and it's not like his beard.
It doesn't take us long. For what he's got too, it doesn't take long.
No, his John Wick beard is not like this epic thing. He could have shaved his face, but something tells me that it could be a John Wick 4 thing, because I think he was shooting immediately after. It could be that. But it also could be, they might have said, you know what, keep the long hair, keep the beard, because this is supposed to be, many years later, from a character perspective, it shows that, you're in a different place in your, of your life than you were years ago. And you have, you look older and wiser maybe. And because maybe if he had short hair and clean shaven, it would have just looked maybe strange. I don't know. But yeah.
Maybe they will wig him up at the end, and put a little short hair on him.
Maybe they will. Dave, Tony, and Patrick, $10 from Nick. Thank you, Nick. Says, my favorite from all Marvels was Thor Ragnarok. I say this because its director, Taika Waititi. I say this because its director, Taika Waititi, was asked what influenced it. He replied, Big Trouble in Little China. A personal favorite. Fascinating. Did you know that, Patrick?
I did not know that. That's awesome.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Very cool. I did not know that.
I've never even seen Thor Ragnarok,
I think it is. Yeah.
Okay.
I never heard that. All right. I was looking for just one last question here. That was more of a statement, not really a question.
Michael Myers, how much do you think the Batman movie will make at the box office?
There it is.
100 trillion gazillion dollars.
Well, if it's
100 gazillion.
If it's released solely at the box office, I think it'll do well.
What does Mike Myers say?
$1 million.
No.
Dr. Evil. $100 million or something like that. Well, it's not coming out till next year. When is it coming out? November next year?
And it also depends on the circumstances. What we said at the beginning of the film, and
that's it.
Are they going to mandate people to be vaccinated in order to go to the theaters and stuff? I mean, you're going to see a drastic change in that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
It all depends on what
it's going to be. Yeah, and it depends on as I've said many times, just because theaters are open, a lot of theaters are still at 50% capacity. And that doesn't mean that the theaters are 50% full, because maybe only 10% show up. So, it depends where we are at the time when the Batman is released. If hypothetically, if everything was back to normal, I mean, this would be like $120 million opening weekend or something like that, right? Or maybe even more. But if it gets split, and if it's released on, because Batman's Warner Brothers, right? So if it gets released in theaters and on HBO Max at the same time, then you're probably going to see maybe similar numbers as Shang-Chi or whatever it is, maybe like an $80 million opening weekend or whatever. And I think studios are happy because it's based on the circumstances, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, wow, if we can pull in that based on this, I think, we're kind of happy. But it depends on where the world is. Patrick, how do you see it?
Yeah, no, I actually agree 100%. I mean, I know for myself here out in Houston, Amanda and I still go to the theater from time to time. And of course, when we go, it's like, it's mean, I don't even know, half full, maybe a fourth
Right.
full. So, and I mean, unfortunately for myself, I mean, I really like going to the theaters. I know that things are available on streaming services, but you know, if it's available out there, I want to go.
Yeah,
Dave,
for sure. Me too.
Because I'm going to stream Halloween Kills when it comes out. We were talking about that before we went live, and I'm probably going to rent it off of iTunes with it, whether it comes out the day or within, because iTunes has been doing it either the day, the first week, or within the second week. They'll release it in whatever. Now, when I pay to rent that, does that go to the box office revenue because I'm renting it, or like how does that work?
Well, it would be I don't know. Some of it would go to Apple.
I'm gonna have to buy to own it, but I'm paying to rent it.
Yeah. Do you have an Apple subscription?
Well, I mean, I have to different things, but not like for movies.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know for sure. Streaming is a new area. I do know that some of it's going to go somewhere, right? It's not all going to go to Apple. It's not all going to go to Universal. It's just like at the movie theaters. It depends on the theater.
See, that's what I was thinking. Is it like a theater cut? Like Apple gets a percentage, and then the rest goes back to
Yeah, because where movie theaters really make their money is concessions. Yeah, that's where they make their money. And it depends too, because some theaters have a rolling system, right? In the sense of not a rolling system, that's not the right word, but have sort of like where some, not all, but and sometimes it can depend on the movie where it's built into the contract. If the studios have a movie that is really they know is going to make like bank opening weekend, whatever, right? A lot of that profit will go to the studio, and then the longer that the movie is in the theater, the more comes down. I think it's the longer the movie is in the theater. And this is dependent. I don't think this is every theater chain. I stand to be corrected. I got to brush up on these details because I did know this, but it depends. The longer the movie is in the theater, then the more will go to the theater itself, as opposed to like it said. I forget what it's called. It's a system that can be in place, but I think it depends. It depends. So it's not like drastic. It's not like 50-50 or anything like that. But yeah, no, it is split. Streaming services, it depends. I mean, if you are watching the movie on HBO Max, well, all of it goes to Warner Brothers because HBO Max is owned by Warner. So there is no splitting or anything like that. If they were to put it,
but with that, when I did HBO Max, when I watched that shithole of a bullshit movie, Conjuring 3, I was paying a monthly subscription. I didn't have to rent it. It just was available for me to watch. So
right.
So they're getting it. They're getting so they're getting basically the percentage, the 100% of my subscription. Right. I'm paying for it. Okay.
Right. And this is part of the problem with streaming and why movies don't make as much on, like, really, we know that the future of movies is streaming. I mean, I hate to say that, we all grew up here at a time where it was theaters. Unfortunately, I don't think theaters are going to go away. I think you will see a decline in them, but I think they're going to evolve, especially once VR becomes a regular thing. But I think, the $250 million movies budgets, I think, are eventually going to be a thing of the past. I think a large scale, big budget movie in 20 years is going to be like $50 million because the business model right now for streaming, to your point, is, because, we have to remember that a production budget can be $250 million, but it's double that when you include marketing. Like, for example, for James Bond, the new James Bond film, for it to even start to be profitable has to make around $700 million. It's not going to do that on streaming. It's not even close because of subscriptions, and it's already built into the thing. And then you have to charge like, well, in order to watch Bond, we're going to release it, let's say, on this platform, but we're going to have to release it so even if you have, you are paying a monthly fee to the service, you're still going to have to pay $20 a month. And they do that because they need the movie to make money. So it's just,
look, all it's going to take is one guy out there.
Business model's not there.
Well, one guy, smart dude who can get all the studio heads together and say, listen, You create one app, whether you charge them $50 a month, whatever it is, each studio gets a percentage of that. People are subscribing to that one app, and that's where all the new releases are going to go to. It's going to take that one dude who's going to be able to, I'm throwing out 50 as just, you know,
I understand.
Sure. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's the set number, but because like you just said, eventually that's what it's going to come down to, because studios are going to need to figure out how can we make money when everyone's going to the streaming thing. But, you know, we're charging $15 a month for them to rent HBO Max. We're not getting $15 for Tony watching The Conjuring. You're getting a small percentage of that that's going towards my monthly subscription. Yeah. So if you have that one app for only new movie releases, but you got to pay some, you know, whatever, $50, $75 a month, you get unlimited new movies. But it's divided up by the studios.
It's possible. Sorry, Patrick, I'll let you go here. I just want to say this one little thing. It's possible what you're saying. But the streaming services, all they care about are subscribers,
right?
Because when you get they eventually won't have to charge extra for the movie if you have 200 million subscribers that are actively paying, you know, $15 a month for your service. Because what is that? Like, let's just hypothetically, let's say $15 times 200. That's 2 million. There's 200 million equals $3 billion. So, you know, you look at that and so Netflix right now is probably taking in anywhere between $3 to $5 billion. Now they're also several billion in debt. I mean, I think we could see that. We could see that model. But we're in the middle of the streaming wars right now. And, you know,
well, it becomes crazy expensive. That's why I had to cut HBO Max and Peacock out, because I'm like, look,
no, it does.
Netflix, and it's like, man, what the fuck?
It does. I'll just say this. I'll say that you know, the way for me, how I see it is that eventually, at least for some time, the spending of, because like I said, if you spend $200 million in a movie, you're spending another $200 million to market it. So let's just say the future of spending $500 million, $500 million on blockbuster movies, is going to be a thing of the past.
I'm okay with that. I'm all for the low budget, good indie, you know, good movies. Let's bring it back.
Well, it doesn't have to even be low budget. I mean, you know, it's all
low
relative.
Budget in comparison to like.
Right, exactly. I just think a big budget movie eventually will be like $50 million, you know, or $60 million. Anyway, it's a thing that I got to brush up more on it. But yeah, how theaters make their money and how streaming, and theater, you know, studios want to release their own movies on their own. See, that's the thing. They want to release their own movies on their own streaming platforms,
right.
because
I get it.
Because they get 100% of the money. And it's not, you
but
know.
Are they making money? That's the question. Are they making money?
If they have the subscriber base, they are. And that's why they're releasing Halloween Kills on Peacock. And in order to watch Halloween Kills for free without ads, you have to be a premium member of Peacock for $9.99 a month. It's to lure people to Peacock. That's what it is, you know, and it doesn't mean it's going to work.
And you guys don't get Peacock
that's the model.
Up there?
No, we don't. We don't get Peacock or HBO Max here in Canada yet.
So how are you going to be able to watch it? Is it through iTunes or whatever?
It'll be in theaters, and it's coming to, we get iTunes, obviously. I have to check. I don't know where yet it's going to be in terms of streaming here. Not
you know, because in theory, I'm just saying, I'm just throwing this out there. In theory, we could actually do a Halloween kill stream on Halloween this year.
I bet you a lot of people are going to do that. A lot. I've already heard a lot of people are going to do that. Sorry, Patrick, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What were you going to say?
No. Oh, no. Hey, I'm honestly telling you, I'm just loving the conversation. So no, keep going. This is great.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you had something to say in regards to streaming. Like,
no,
I don't care.
It's gone. It's gone. No, it's gone. It's gone.
No, it's fascinating, but that's why, you are seeing, you know, such a polarizing, such dip in numbers as well, you know, in terms of what movies what movies are making, because theaters are expensive, and families don't want to be bothered with taking their kids, spending. I mean, you could, if it's a wife and a husband and 2 or 3 kids, I mean, you're spending like $150 between the tickets, the concessions, the popcorn, and you got
not even that on a date. If I'm taking a girl, I'm spending that kind of money.
Yeah, what the hell theater are you going to?
Dude, it's insane. Well, because I mean, if you live in a city, you're going to be spending more, and if you're going on a Friday night, and if you're going in like. And I'm not just saying IMAX. If you're going on a Friday night,
I understand.
I'm going to spend probably close to about $15 per ticket. So that's $30 right there.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the concessions. Well, if we don't have drinks, because there's a bar at our theater, which that's where it starts to get pricey. Okay. And then you got the concession. So yeah, I could be up to $100 by the end of the night.
I get it. Totally. Fast Forwards 289 says, a little something for the channel, friends. Also, if y'all could visit any decade or century, oh, that's good. What would it be? I always like the 60s and 70s. Visit any decade or century.
Can I answer that in 2 parts? Like, meaning, it's simple. One, I would want to, if the age we're at right now, and we stay that age, and we get to experience the whole decade of that, I would want to do the 80s, because I'd want to experience the 80s as an adult and get to see everything as it happens. And then century, I would love to have lived like in the 1800s and just see what it was, just to kind of know what that was like for people back then. I've always been fascinated with that time, and the development of like Tesla and Edison with electricity, and just how that all unfolded. I've always been fascinated with that. So it wouldn't have been the entire century, but more so that part in time of, when technology was just beginning to, have that infancy.
What about you, Patrick?
Oh, geez. I don't know about century, but I do like the whole idea of like our age. I always love the Roaring 20s. I just love the look, and of course the atmosphere. Now, of course, the crime not cool on, right? But definitely, as far as if I had to go to another, that would probably be one I'd be interested in visiting. But yeah, the 80s. I don't know. I'm getting 70s, 80s. That'd be kind of a cool backup, but definitely the 20s. I think
the 20s. Cool. And what about century?
Gosh. Yeah, I guess the 18th century. And of course, thinking about that century too, of course, there was a lot of interesting things, I guess, as far as near kind of the end of, I guess I don't know, maybe even like the 15th century or 16th century. Interesting.
You're going deep.
I'm going way back. Yeah.
Wow.
Going deep.
Like
you're going King Arthur.
You're going to where there's no plumbing.
Pretty much.
No plumbing, no TV, no nothing. No power, no nothing.
And body
shit
odor,
in this hole. Shit in this hole.
I mean, think about that just for a moment. Okay. Just think about us as the human race. We evolved to this point in time, but you have to think about back then, there was no deodorant. There was no shampoo. There was no soap.
Nothing.
I mean, they had stuff that was like that. There was no toothpaste. I mean, the fact that we were still reproducing and none of that shit was around, shit says a lot about us.
Yeah, I guess no worries too. I mean, you just kind of just I guess blended in at the times, and you just didn't really think about that. Of course, thinking about it now, it's like, oh shit, yeah, I'd smell, I need to brush my teeth, I need to look good. But yeah, back then it'd be like, I'll just throw my shit, just feel like I don't like you.
It's true.
Well, what's cool, Patrick, about the Roaring 20s is that you're still kind of stuck in that period of the 1800s, but also you're in the dawning of this new time in our country. And, so you had a little bit of a mixture of, that Victorian type era still, the remnants of it was still around, but you had that new dawn of just, everything was, the 20s would have been fun to see how that, like you said, minus the Al Capone and Babyface and Bonnie and Clyde and all that. Although I don't know if that was the 20s, more the 30s when all that shit was going down. But yeah, minus the gangster shit, that would have been fun.
Yeah.
I would say for me, I'd choose maybe, the 80s would always be fun to revisit. The 80s would be fun.
As an adult?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the 80s would be fun to revisit because, we were young boys growing up through the 80s, but it would be fun to visit it as like a teenager or somebody in their 20s. That might be kind of fun. But other than the 80s, I would say maybe the 50s. The 50s would be fun. The birth of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. you know, television, you know, Mel's Diner and all that kind of stuff, or, you know, the 60s, like that era of, you know,
the innocence, the Leave It to Beaver of the 50s.
Yeah,
I get you.
I think that would have been fun. And then Century, you know, I think maybe going back like a few thousand years to see who the hell built those pyramids. I want to know who built the pyramids.
The aliens did, man. It was E.T. and his homies.
I'm telling you, I want to know who built those fucking pyramids so I could come back and go, you're all wrong. You're all wrong. You're all wrong. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, Cody, you're right. Actually, I know a lot of people who've talked about the California in the 70s that was its best decade. Like the music and the atmosphere and the vibes of the 70s. Like you had that little dark moment at the beginning, late 60s with the Sharon Tate, Charlie Manson murder. But once they got past that, the 70s in California I would not want to live in the 70s in New York. Fuck that. I wouldn't survive. That was like one of the most dangerous places on the planet.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
You ever seen
stuff.
those old like hardcore pictures of New York in the 70s? Just like trash everywhere.
Oh yeah,
like
for sure.
Everywhere.
For sure. All right, well, listen, folks, that's going to do it for Tony and I and Patrick here on episode 123 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. Thanks to our great moderators, Frank Riker, Tabitha Short, Darren Sands, Chris Baber, for doing what you guys do. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you to all the Super Chat questions that came in today. The non-Super Chat questions, of course, as well. The couple that we were able to get to. Thank you so much for that. Stick around, Patrick. After we sort of go off air, we'll have sort of more of a formal goodbye. But thank you so much for coming on, and again for your support to the movie and to the channel. Really, really appreciate it. Any last things you want to say?
No, I just want to say I had a wonderful time. Thank you for this. This has been great.
Yeah.
And just everybody in the chat, love it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Tony, what about you?
No, good to be back, and thanks, man, for joining us tonight. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, we'll be back.
We'll be back. All right, folks, have a great rest of your Monday. Take care. Cheers.